you let one ant stand up to us, then they all might stand up. Those puny little ants outnumber us 100 to 1. And if they ever figure that out, there goes our way of life. It's not about food. It's about keeping those ants in line.
We do not forget. Expect us.
This is a message to all supporters, a message to all freedom fighters, to all dissenters, to all forgotten, a call to all intellectuals, to all journalists, a call to all freethinkers, a call for intelligence. This is a call to all poets, a call to the strong and the weak, a call to all young people, to the wise, to the astucious. We want you to join us. We are on the streets of Tokyo, in the skyscrapers of New York, in the lanes of Paris, in the cellars of Munich, on Moscow's icy places, on the cobbled streets of Dublin. This is a call to all people, to the youth. Join us in the fight for freedom of information. Search for us, and you will find us. We are among you. We are you. Everyone you speak with can be a member of Anonymous. We have no leaders, only an orientation. We have no targets, only results. You cannot stop us, because we are an idea. We cannot be eliminated, because we are invisible. If you try to mock us, we will mock ourselves. If you try to slander us, we will accept the defamation. We are the king's jesters with daggers. We are the dancing bear which tears to pieces the laughing mob. We are Anonymous. We are Legion. We do not forgive. We do not forget. Expect us, just as we expect you.
Councils of government, we must guard against the acquisition of unwarranted influence, whether sought or unsought, by the military-industrial complex.
starting from amateur level again.
All right, now we have audio coming back in. Okay, there was a update to Windows, and it changed all my driver settings back to the default. Okay, we are live with Anonymous Bites Back 130. Sorry about that gap in audio. What do we want to talk about? PayPal banned BitChute this. Was it yesterday? They just up and
I heard about it yesterday. Yeah.
Like, that one kind of surprised me. Like, what the fuck was that all about? I mean, I know Alex has been broadcasting on there, you know, on BitChute, but for PayPal to completely get rid of the whole platform because Alex is on there, that's pretty fucked up.
Yeah, but I mean, they do, you know, as all of us know, it's all about the money, and it takes money to run these organizations, for people to donate, because I think he's not on GoFundMe anymore either, is he?
I don't know. I have no idea how Alex is getting money.
Look, it's the same way we do it with Iran, with anybody. The first things we do is cut the purse strings. You know, most of what, especially on his that does a lot of radio stuff, it costs a lot. So
yeah, it's economic warfare. I mean, you know, that is war. Economic warfare is war. And they get away with it because it looks a certain way. You say, oh, well, it's hate speech or blah, blah, blah. But they're taking you out of the marketplace, out of the commerce.
Well, and even and look, we've all seen the Alex Jones clips and all of that stuff. You know, he wasn't pushing hate speech. Now, whether you agreed or disagreed with which, you know, event he was pointing at a forced flag was an issue, right? That was what the excuse was for taking them out. But I definitely, the things I saw were not saying hate speech, were saying, like, conspiracy theories, which is fine.
I think they removed him this time for having credit card skimmers on his page.
I think, like we've seen with everybody else, right? They'll use any excuse.
What if they send the credit card skimmers, right, and then ban them for? You never know what the actual reason is, but they seem to have banned Patreon of BitChute too.
Yeah,
Patreon's another one. They're banning a lot of folks.
Yeah, a lot of people that are live streamings and stuff, they're live Patreon. I know even what Jordan Charlton, he used to be 2i2, who does this stuff now for some Beat the Press. But yeah, he had kind of the same thing. Like, everything comes through Patreon. You know, he wouldn't be able to do anything if it wasn't that, like, you know, that
oh, you got to speak a little closer to that microphone, bro. Yeah.
I don't know what is going on.
Watching for security.
Oh no, they're outside. Every time we broadcast now, they're outside.
Hey, the quality is perfect now.
Good. It's literally like laying on my chest. I can't even. I don't know why it's like that, but whatever.
Remember how good the quality gets when it when we go off air and then it's like perfect.
Yeah.
Guys, as soon as we get off air, that are listening, as soon as we cut and say, okay, we're live, and we do like our close up for the show, we have perfect quality with us, with the guests, no lag, no breaking up, nothing. It's perfect. And as soon as we go live, about 2-3 minutes for Jerry and Eric to get the van set all up before we start having connection issues. I don't know what they're. Eric, John, Bill, come on, give us a sign here. Just write in the comments. Jeremy, it was Jeremy.
Whatever their name is today, right? But we know they're there in this little fan waiting.
They are, honestly, they are our biggest fans, right? They tune in every episode.
Oh man.
Well, you know how dangerous you water protectors are. I mean, we got to put a stop to this. You know.
When we were doing the stuff in Fiji, right? We were diving with these giant sharks.
Yeah.
I imagine there was like one of our mercenaries that was like, you know what? Fuck this. No, I'm not. I am not doing this. You are not paying me enough to jump in that water.
With the sharks.
With sharks. Get fucked. I don't know. I gotta think that at least a couple of them, right, eventually come to our side, or at least support us enough to keep the word getting out. There has to be at least a faction, statistically. You know what I mean? We've seen where the leaks and stuff that came out. There's always people that are on our side. I bet you eventually you'll listen to us. At least one of our inside men. Sorry, dude. We probably just got you moved to another assignment, didn't we? You know what? I'll just let it go. Like, I know you want to keep listening to the show, and we're going to fuck it up for you if I say, hey, we'll have a beer afterwards. And I knew you were supporting those water protectors. Get out of here.
Yeah, well, we're still broadcasting, right? We're still here, so there must be someone on our side. I don't know what.
QAnons. Oops.
Well, no. Part of my thesis is you have to be under constant investigation, and then they'll leave you alone because they want to hear what you're talking about. The moment you get lame and you drift off, and they have to drop you, well, then they don't need you anymore. You know, they can start jacking with you. But as long as you're on, you know, we can keep you under constant investigation. Well, then, you know,
are they? Do they know about the plan?
What was that op name y'all were working on?
You think they know?
Which one?
Doesn't matter as long as they trust it. I mean,
the one. You know the one I'm talking about.
Operation X. Big X.
The part is, we're all joking, not joking at the same time.
I don't know what you're talking about.
That was the most awkward. Like, everybody's on there just kind of, like, we're all joking, but we're not. It was we're talking drinking game. It's, 3 cups. 3 glasses. What, you don't like beer? I like beer. You don't like beer?
nothing going on, guys. Just go to sleep.
Working on it.
Nothing going on at the mainframe. It's all good.
Yeah, but speaking about this, this PayPal, just pulling away from streaming sites, I'm kind of wondering, because Stride, Patreon, and PayPal are all doing the same thing. I'm wondering, who do they go to? They have to have some common link, something on the back end I swear to God, it's not a coincidence.
Politics.
Well,
No. I mean, there is somebody or something that they all go through a central hub. There has to be some payment. There has to be some overlapping somewhere, because these same three companies, like when somebody gets deplatformed or demonetized, all three of them fucking pull away at the same time.
Well, I mean, they are money transaction entities, right? I mean, how much can you trust the money changers? They all work together.
Well, Visa does the same thing. Visa also has done similar things to stop processing payments to certain websites.
Well, I mean, look at their reaction to cryptocurrency for the same reasons, and kind of this united front, and trying to undermine it, like all of the games that they play with cryptocurrency. Which entities do they all work for? Well, I'm sure all the regulated, the regulatory commissions. You can put a lot of pressure on a company like PayPal. And I mean, that's saying that it would take a lot of pressure, and not when you go to the country club that weekend. Right, hey, can you guys, these guys are costing us money. Can you just cost us some shit anymore? And it's that simple in a lot of cases.
We already know PayPal is owned by the Rothschilds anyways.
Yeah, and even with a lot of these, they'll start out not being owned, and then these kind of entities will come in and it'll change. YouTube's supposed to be, it's supposed to be about the people, or, the Facebook is supposed to be about you, and it's like face recognition book, right? There to it's completely changed. Which once that entity gets its fingers in it, then the advertising comes and the control comes, and if you want to keep on making the money, then you got to play ball.
Just imagine YouTube without PewDiePie.
Oh my lord!
It wouldn't be the same. It wouldn't be the same. What happened? What happened to PewDiePie? I haven't heard that in so. I haven't heard.
Well, he got sideways with YouTube on something a while back, and he kind of. I mean, he's still there, but he's kind of drifted off, but he did get sideways. I forget what he did.
Yeah, there was a couple of those guys that just made some kind of like horrible decisions because they're like 18. And I know that like the rise and fall of YouTube stars can be like super. I think some of it is always like their fans end up becoming adults or like teenagers, and then they're just not into it anymore. Your name's PewDiePie.
He did prank YouTube once where he made like 2 Indian guys hold up like signs with Hitler did nothing wrong.
Oh, that's good.
Oh well, come on, yeah, we can't have that. I mean.
They didn't even know what was on. They didn't even know the meaning of what was on these signs, but he just did it for fun.
I think that's it was a song, agoraphobic nosebleed or some shit. Like Hitler was a sensitive man. I think it's a joke from a heavy metal song.
Yeah. Yeah, you know what? Anytime you're holding up a sign that said Hitler, you better be the kind of person that has, no one would second guess. Look, if I'm standing running a Hitler was right sign or follow Hitler sign, right? It is absolutely hilarious. It's obviously dumb. Right, you've lost your mind. I'll hold that right next to my like, I love Dapple and Monsanto T-shirt. Right.
Did you say Monsanto's?
It's Bear now.
Monsanto building, right, is not me supporting them, right? But I don't think that PewDiePie had that kind of, I don't know, that did you get him like a Carlin-esque vibe from PewDiePie?
Oh, he's got like 50 million followers, bro. Like, I'm not sure all of them are real, but he's sure got a hell of a lot of followers.
But if all of your followers are 13-year-old kids, like, particularly.
Yeah, that is a little fucking strange, like, kind of pedophile-ish. Yeah.
Little girl, and she's like a you don't gotta do shit to be, like YouTube fame is not like anything that you could put your fingers on. It's like Beanie Babies and fucking troll dolls. Like that shit just happens. You couldn't bring that to a marketing team and be like, hey, check out this butt ugly doll with straight up and down haircut, hair. You'd be like, oh no, you can't sell it. But boom, pop culture will pop up. And like a lot of these YouTube stars are like that. They're popular for a year or so, and then you look back and you're like, remember that was so stupid.
Well, it's almost become that way on every platform, is that you can't maintain an audience on any of these platforms. Like I even see it on my Twitter account. Like I will lose followers, like 100, 200 followers in a day for no fucking reason,
Well, yeah, and I mean, there is a thing of the internet is much more fluid. Like, unlike other mediums, it's alive in a way that, like, the media that people do is. So things change quick, directions change quick. People that, that are being listened to or focused on change extremely quick, and they're kind of used to these, like, long-term, stories and stars, and that's not the case. It never has been with the internet. Like, we move on to the next thing just as quick. Fix that problem, move on.
Yeah.
Yeah, people get tired of it. Well, you probably know. I mean, people will unfriend you. You say one thing wrong, people unfriend you. They get all whacked out, man. I mean,
and you can never get to I just disagree with you. Fuck.
Yeah, it has to be this huge drama fest. And...
Oh, I had one guy, and I think he still might follow us. I don't remember, but he got on there and he goes, good luck with your environment. And I'm all like, dude, like, you live on the same planet. If we fail, you're just as fucked as I am. But stupid because I didn't agree with him on, Hillary Clinton or something like that. Good luck with your environment. Like, you can swim in the water in fucking Florida.
Well, you're a misogynist because you didn't support Hillary Clinton, you scum. You know.
Yeah, that's going to become such a huge problem. I don't know what.
I don't know how you're going to live with yourself, Terrence.
Dude, they kicked me off. They kicked me off of Bernie 2020 today.
Off of what?
Off of Bernie. So I ran one of the like monster sites for the Bernie Sanders campaign, right? And even when I was running a bunch of Jill Stein campaigns, I still like worked for it, you know, put in, you know, memes and, you know, doing the thing or whatever. But I just refused to support Hillary Clinton. Dude, they kicked me off of the fucking page. Like, they kicked me off of the site, the team, everything.
Because you said that? That's fucking crazy.
Well, and I was like, look, guys, the name of the the name of the organization is Bernie 2020. Why would I support anyone else? Right? Like at this, like the name of it, and they pretty much came in and bought out the admin that were there, and I mean literally just bought them out and.
Whoops.
I'm like, well, I'm still not going to do it. But what a dick move.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, hey, you know, I mean, both sides do that. I mean, I see Republicans. If you're not a good little lemming and sheep that'll follow along and do what you're told, they don't need you. That's the truth. You get out of line just a little bit, and they're done with you. You know, you're not a fanatical fan that they can count on. So, yeah,
it's weird the like fanaticism. I mean, even if you're somebody I know like that would look at it and be like, okay, I'll probably go. I'm not that person. But like everybody that's like, fine, I'd probably vote for Hillary Clinton. Like, there's anything wrong saying, well, we'll just look into what they are. You can make your own decision, but I'm not gonna like blindly walk along. Don't ask the question, right? No matter who, some knows what's in charge. Just follow along, follow the leader. Like, you should at least be able to say, oh, even if you're gonna vote for, you should at least know out what their record is. Like, why would I vote for anybody that I didn't check out? And looking into her shit, I'd never vote for her.
Well, hell, they tell you to pull, you know, the straight levers on the voting. I mean, you know, there's a lot of people that do that. I've never been that way. It's like, how can I just blankly give all the Republicans my vote? It's like, what the hell? You know, it's like,
well, and even the Republican thing. So, yeah, I get, you know, on a national level, this person and that person. There's all sorts of reasons. Our local sheriff, like the sheriff in my town, which is a small town, is a Republican. He runs unopposed every year. He's a good guy. I've known the guy since I was a little kid, right? I mean, he's pro marijuana legislation. You know what I mean? If you're ever stuck in a fucking ditch at 3 o'clock in the morning, he's the only one coming for you, right? So there's all sorts of like, you know, reasons that I voted Republican for that. There was no like he's a good guy. He's a conservative for sure. You know what I mean? But to say, okay, well, you could only, why would I vote if there was a Democrat that was trying to go for the same, right, for the same spot, I probably wouldn't vote for them. I don't know them. I bet you're corrupt as fuck. Where did you come from? Right?
Yeah, I would compare like supporting Hillary would be like asking me to support Jeb Bush. You know, it'd be like, you know, I couldn't give a fuck about Jeb Bush. You know, fuck him.
Yeah,
you know. But see, right there, you know, it's like, hey, you're just not being a good Republican, man. You don't get it. Yeah.
You want to vote for the Bush dynasty? They have really done a great job so far. Can't imagine Jeb getting in there and doing the hard work.
I mean, his dad like did the New World Order speech. That was normal.
Yeah.
Yeah, and 10 years later, you know, the towers go down. So, just a coincidence. You know, it's a coincidence among a lot of other coincidences.
Yeah. And it's not like, okay, he's an educated person. It's not like it was a slip of the tongue. You know, like the New World Order, what it stood for, all of that already had quite clear meanings and connotations, right?
He kind of made it like sound like a Captain Planet or whatever. Like everybody's gonna be happy and we're all gonna get along and
yeah. Which fairy tale do we subscribe to that says the ex-head of the CIA, right, was gonna bring in a utopia?
He wouldn't lie to me, would he?
Well, yeah. What have you ever heard, like in all of the like futurist and sci-fi and all of that? Have you ever heard like oh, and the future started going, what? CIA takeover.
Yeah.
Because I mean, everybody knows that all the good guys hang out at the CIA.
Oh yeah, look at all of the good stuff they've done around the world. Like the those children that they or those people that they helped okay, well, you know the
Remember the time they dropped a bunch of cocaine in the middle of the rainforest and it crashed, and they were using a humanitarian plane to like drop guns in Nicaragua for no fucking reason?
You serious?
They would meddle with them.
Venezuela, it's raining cocaine and guns.
It will be soon.
Remember the time the CIA dropped a bunch of money on hiring psychics to find assassins, and they spent $1 billion to do it, and it kind of went nowhere?
Oh, because you are the assassins. Like, is that not like going in and knowing, like, you're going in to kill the person that's a psychic?
Oh yeah, no, remote viewing. They literally spent hundreds of millions of dollars in trying to get psychics to find targets for them.
Oh well, I mean, honestly,
yeah, I was one of the psychics.
If you're the CIA and you know the amount of people that you have murdered, if you were a psychic and you were sitting in there and they're all like, "What do you see?" and you get a flash of all of the bullshit the CIA's up to, keep your mouth shut. You'd be like, nah, I don't have any real powers, dude. It was a scam.
I was just making it up.
No, actually,
got paid.
I think as soon as somebody came out and said, "Oh yeah, that was Agent White," immediately they just shoot the psychic in the head, right? Actually, they shoot you because you would know you were training Osama bin Laden.
Yeah, well, I mean, CIA guys don't like getting bullshitted, so yeah, don't waste their time because they're going to shoot you in the head anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, I think, like, how did you know that he was psychic? Well, because when the CIA came to the door, he bolted out the back door. They were already running down the street.
Yeah, but seriously, if your government gives that kind of money to psychics instead of to like the homeless, then you know there is something wrong, right?
Well, they were giving
acid. They were giving acid to prisoners and seeing what would happen if they give LSD to people unbeknownst to them on a daily basis.
Which is crazy because the amount that they spend it on giving homeless people acid, they could have just given them food.
Yeah.
Like
well, but you can't mess with them and fuck with their head and kill them if you do that.
Well, yeah, I mean, just can you imagine?
I mean, come on.
They'll do secret evil shit, but they're like, "Oh, what about the secret experiments? We'll see. How healthy can we make people? What are the effects of that? How could you control people by them being extremely healthy?" Right?
Yeah, healthy is like peace. It doesn't really sell as well.
I remember the DoD was going to use acid as a biological weapon.
What about that?
They were going to like spray it over the VC when they were, and to confuse the enemy. And when the troops come in, they just see the guys just doing crazy shit.
There is literally, and you guys can look this up. I am not shitting you. This is not some weird conspiracy theory. There is a pheromone bomb. It's called the love bomb. It won the Nobel Prize back in the 60s, right? Now, this bomb has got a bunch
Wasn't it called the gay bomb?
I don't think it's much fuck everything at that point. It'd be the bi bomb, right? You just find... And he had nothing... It really didn't, it really didn't affect, like, sexuality the way that you would think, because people seem to get along a lot fucking better. But, yeah, it drops these pheromones over a battlefield, and pretty much your troops don't feel like fighting.
Well, they did that to their own troops in Vietnam. I think there's a movie, Jacob's Ladder, that covered those guys, man.
Why?
Yeah.
Why are they not doing? When you got just drop that over fucking ISIS. You want a jihad? Just COD. Fuck it.
We'll just drop some experimental drugs on troops. It doesn't matter.
Well, no, I don't think that, like, the experiments that they do are, like, not enjoyable. So let's, like, strap someone to a chair, fill them full of acid, make them watch, like, horror war films and see if they become perfect soldiers or something.
Yeah.
Hey, I mean, they'll do anything. I mean, it's research, man. I mean, come on, you guys aren't going to be against research, are you? I mean,
Oh, no,
it's new knowledge. I mean, come on.
They'll slip it into each other's coffee, and like they do weird stuff to each other as well. If you go and look at like the records of all these especially acid experiments, they do really weird stuff. Like one of the founders of that project, they filled his coffee like they played a game where like they would just randomly spike each other's drinks and food with LSD, and they put some like insane amount of fucking acid in his coffee, and either he like jumped out the window or flew out the window.
No, he did jump out the window. Remember, they killed that guy.
Yeah, however that worked, but why did you do that? Like, hippies don't even do that to each other. That's because the drugs were free. Well, no, you feel like you for the person that like worked their ass off for a $30 tab of acid that they do on their birthday, right? He ain't fucking around. He ain't sharing it all. So they're all like, oh yeah, cocaine and fucking acid for everybody. Woo!
Well, hey, when you're a dark ops lab, with unlimited cash, you can do shit like that. Everything's paid for. You don't have it. None of that money's coming out of your pocket.
No, they don't give a fuck. Look, man, I'm gonna be honest with you. We will trade you guns for drugs. Like, I don't think we can get any simpler than that. U.S. policy: guns for drugs. Anything you got. Doesn't even matter the drug. From the other side of the world, we'll make it fucking happen.
Sounds like guns for cash.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. It's like Vegas. If you have a gun operation like that goes bad, you just start killing people. To cover it all up. Because that's what criminals do.
Oh yeah, Fast and the Furious, right? Like we'll light each other up. We don't get scared.
You just got to get crazy, man. You got to think. You got to think like a psychopath. It's just.
Oh, and like the stories that they'll try to make up on why both of your Black Ops teams were selling guns, drugs, and people across the border and ended up shooting each other. How did that happen? Nothing you were doing there was good. We had to sell them guns to see where they were going to fucking shoot people, you idiot. Why did you sell them guns? It's a drug. Hell, what do you think they're using them for?
Target practice.
We're going to sell guns to see what they do with them. You know exactly what they're going to do with them. And in this case, you knew what they were doing with the drugs and the guns because you were selling them to each other.
Yeah, that was what was kind of odd about the Obama era there. I mean, I think that's under him is like guns are bad except when we're selling them to the cartel in Mexico. Then it's okay.
Then they're really good. Right? Then they're really good. Because, I mean, he played the immigrant card like, geez, I really wish that people... Look, Obama did some good stuff in his office. I think really, honestly, every president does some good shit. Even if we don't see it right away. Even Trump getting in there and being a knucklehead, right, has fucked up all sorts of plans that people had.
I bet you everybody in his cabinet's like, I bet you I'm going to get fired next week.
Oh, yeah.
There are some more coming. General Kelly and the gal at DHS are allegedly dating, so, they're on their way out.
Oh, yeah, that's... I'm sure...
Can't have any...
get punched.
Yeah, we don't want, I mean... They probably got caught screwing on the white couch in the Oval Office or something. You know how this goes.
Look, you got to see. It's Mike Pence. Right? There's sex out of wedlock. Sex out of wedlock, guys. People not married having sex.
That's a sin.
You know what that means? They could be having sex for not procreation. I mean, do you understand that?
Yeah.
Blowjobs on her desk.
Well, I mean, as a allegedly righteous person who, fanatical about their religion, yeah, they got a problem with that.
We might as well.
It's none of their business, but that's not going to stop them from doing what they're going to do.
No, like he's as close to a jihadist as we're going to get in our government. Like really. And if you go back and watch some of his stuff when he was running his radio show, it is messed up.
Whose radio show?
Okay, yeah. So he used to have the vice used to have a radio show before he was vice president. He like Christian,
Oh, okay.
the the Promise Keepers, the extremists. Not like racist extremists, just Christian extremists. Just
yeah. I heard Mike Pence is pretty.
He ran
super religious.
Yeah, he ran that those radio shows, and he would get on there and spit the kind of stuff that you expect from religious extremism.
Oh yeah, like pro-life, no stem cells, shit like that,
Yeah, it's not even being pro-life or pro-abortion or whatever. It takes it a step further, in that they are personally chosen by God to inflict hurt. It's not enough for God for all eternity. It's their job. Gays, whatever the fuck you're on about, they've got a serious issue with it. Think like I said, it's extremism by the general, the actual definition. It just happens to be Christian extremism. They say Jesus every once in a while, so I guess that's
Yeah, well, that's the hall pass, if everything. Yeah, amen, and a couple of Jesus here and there, it kind of greases the conversation where you need to go. It's just...
Well, if they like to take away your ability to argue with them, and if they literally hide behind Jesus for their hate.
Oh no, yeah, or the New Testament. It says here on Isaiah.
Yeah, well, that's the deal. Well, they'll just they'll cover their own hate as if it's the will of God, right? Yeah. As if it's the words Jesus hates should never cross your lips. That just wasn't his thing, right? But they will build their whole philosophy around that idea, right? They hate the gays or the Jews or this or that or whatever group of people that they feel God would hate, and whatever little voice in their head tells them that. Does the book say that? Oh yeah, in some cases.
That's when they're making that power grab.
Yeah. There is that part of it. It's to enforce a religious doctrine on top of it. He's not working for the betterment of the country. He has an agenda, and it's a religious agenda.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you need that, like a cult mentality. You need some god supporting your stuff, right? To have your people follow you and have the outside all attacking you. That's like the story. Like, everyone who doesn't agree with this religious doctrine is attacking us. Like that's like the cult mentality they want.
And they'll be extremists in Muslim extremism, right? You'll have a certain sect or a certain cult or a certain belief that isn't the belief of everyone. But then when they talk and they speak, they make it sound like this is the belief of evangelical Christians. Where when you talk to evangelical Christians, some stuff, the abortion thing, but most of what you're talking about, no, they don't believe that. No way, right? You're an extremist. And it's the same way that Muslim extremists will come out and act like they speak for the bulk of the Muslim religion, and then they'll hide behind it as well, right? You're not focusing on Christian extremism or Muslim extremism. You're focused on Islam or Christianity, and they'll hide behind the good people of all of those religions to get really bad and evil narratives out. Some of that's my personal opinion, but
yeah, I agree with it. Yeah, that's exactly what they do. Yeah.
They're called zealots. They have zeal.
They have zeal. That's a kind of fun word.
Hey, our show is super active on YouTube. I don't know if you guys are watching the YouTube chat, but it's we finally got more viewers on YouTube than on Facebook, I think. So.
Oh, nice.
I think they like the interaction. Wow.
Yeah. Damn, if we weren't just going to Google, I'd feel good about that. But
yeah,
I did kind of want to get this out because this is something that we've been promoting for a long time. Is delete Facebook. A new bug was found this week where it's basically like a combination of using a Perl script interacting with your web browser and to exploit. It basically exploits user data. And this was just a simple hack that they haven't even patched up yet.
System went down 4 or 5 hours a few days ago. Now they came out afterward, firstly denied it completely, and then came out afterward and said, "Oh, it's all good. It was just standard maintenance that we had to do."
What? Facebook went down? I don't remember that.
Huh?
Earlier this week.
I'm never on there.
Yeah.
Well, I remember YouTube going down. I don't remember Facebook though.
Yeah,
But
they were
Facebook
also
is always going down.
yeah, they were also advertising there was a bug, and they closed it like in one day. But they forgot to mention that Facebook is 13 years old, and this bug existed for like 13 years.
The bug that they were using didn't look like it was like very complicated. So it might have been there for a long time.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
A lot worse. I mean, they patch a lot, of course, but there are many bugs, and I've been using a tool myself, a Python tool, and it was able to extract every email address and phone number from Facebook users, and no matter if they were literally hiding it, it was still able to extract it.
Oh yeah, because it's still there.
I showed it to you.
It's still there in the background, whether they want to patch up their code or not. It's still there.
It's not a leak, it's a steady drip.
Yeah, and I think some of it may be on purpose. I think they sell access and these numbers to each other and to these corporations, and this is how they get around it. Where it's not that you gave them access, or you got a hacker or a hacker that you go to that gets them the numbers, and you sell the information that way, and then, it's not my fault. I didn't sell every American's Facebook email account, right? Somebody hacked into it and did it. It just happens that I set everything up for them to be able to do that.
That's like Hillary's server. Yeah.
Oh no, that's taken care of with Hammer.
Yeah, well, no, this was just like a huge hole. I mean, Tyler, you saw it, right? I showed it to you, and
yeah,
it's like the only thing you needed to do was have them in your friend list, and it was able to extract everything from them.
It wasn't
like
It looked much more. It looked almost as fun as playing with those Reaper programs that you use on a website, and it grabs like everybody's information. That's kind of like what it was. What it was doing.
Yeah.
And it's already there.
It's like 2 months ago, and it still works. So yeah. Yeah.
It's always been there. It's like the auto sync. Hey, keep in contact with your friends. Download your contacts.
You're giving away something when you add them to your friend. You're giving away some. It is a huge hole in the system. So.
And also this week, the New York Times slammed Facebook again, saying that they basically trash talking Zuckerberg and Second in Command, saying that whenever they're questioned, they deny, deflect, and I forget what the other thing that they said they were doing, but it was what they were doing when they were being questioned by the Senate and in the EU. And there's rumors going around Zuckerberg's team tries to keep him out of the loop out of all of this shit.
Oh, he's been thrown under the bus too.
Yeah.
I think Sheryl Sandberg said something about, you just threw us under the bus. It was over the Russian.
Maybe he's not like mentally capable of like handling like hard problems. I don't know.
Well, he goes into that weird like loading mode.
Like I think he's like autistic or something, dude.
Well, he's full of shit. Number one,
Yeah.
One problem he's got that from one big problem.
Yeah.
A liar, and he's a bad liar at that. So he's got issues, man.
Well, he just this week was he talked about how he wasn't a biased platform, and he talked about how he didn't sway left or right. But everybody knows that Silicon Valley is left swinging, pro-Democrat, etc. Right? So he meets with. I didn't get much out of this article other than he's meeting with Macron, the president of France. Was he the current or the?
He's current president.
Current president, yeah. To up misinformation, what he deems misinformation and hate speech on his platform. Now, Zuckerberg knows that, hate speech is protected even under the First Amendment, as long as you're saying that you don't want to kill. As long as you say that you don't want to kill somebody, right?
But you're
well, not on his platform of dumb fucks. No.
I'm not defending Nazis, but I do defend free speech. You know.
But rules in Europe are different, and he was under the impression, and Facebook was under the impression, because they're a U.S. company, that they don't have to abide by the rules of other countries. And Europe is looking at that completely different. And although we feel that our First Amendment rights are being taken away by any infringement, Europe has pretty much came with the term 80 years now that all-out hate speech, Nazi propaganda, Nazi symbolism, those kind of things, they just don't.
Well, Switzerland, yes, in certain countries, I think it's Switzerland or Sweden and Germany, there are laws against hate speech. Yes.
Yeah, even England has. I mean, compared to the U.S.'s hate speech, the U.S.'s speech in general, we are allowed a lot more freedom in what we say, right? And that does breach over into straight up hate speech, where you can't do that in Europe, and they'd like everywhere else. And for China, we're going to have to do the same thing for Europe.
Well, I think another reason Macron might be doing this is he's sliding big time in the polls. He's got about a 25% approval rating, so he's sucking balls, and he's got to get his campaign and his numbers up.
Well,
so.
I mean, we do have to step back, guys. This is French politics, right? When have they ever? They're French. Right? When have they ever liked their leaders? 25% is actually probably pretty high for a French leader.
Maybe they're wanting to learn something out of it, find some information to share.
And just because they filled out a form saying they hate you, right, doesn't mean that they don't vote for you overwhelmingly. So if you ask a Frenchman what they think of Macron, he's an asshole. I'll vote for him to the day I die. That's normal French way of thinking. So yeah, I wouldn't it's kind of the U.S. will make a big deal over there was riots in Paris. Have you ever been to Paris?
No.
Look, I lived for a year. There's riots every day in Paris. Paris is always rioting. They've been rioting for the last 500 years.
Yeah, it's very different. But also you have to realize European politics are very different than U.S. politics in the sense that a leader never gets like a real majority in a country, right? There are like so many different political parties, and you actually win with like 20%, right, or like with 30%. You win, you overwhelmingly win. So yeah, it's always like the majority of your country actually still hates you. So yeah.
That's another great system, isn't it? Man, that'd be a lot different than what we have here.
Don't really sound like it.
We don't like it.
They managed to screw it up no matter how you do it.
No. They're still corrupt politicians. They just have better wine and cheese.
Better taste, anyways.
Well, yeah, have a little class, a little etiquette. I mean, come on, Yeah, after all, you're supposed to be some big shot politician, some elitist scum. So at least act like it, you asshole, you scumbags.
These guys, as far as American politics is concerned, we're the new kids on the block. We just started fucking people over. Right? They've been doing it for thousands of years.
Yeah.
Right? So, I mean, I think in some cases people have become a lot more accustomed where it's all like, yeah, this is shit, but remember World War I? Right? Like, oh yeah, having a king fucking sucks, but he used to kick in my door and steal my shit, so this is a lot better than that.
Yeah, can imagine if America had a king. That'd be weird.
Oh, even like when we talk about... yeah, right? When we talk about regulations, and we're like, oh, we need clean water, we'll fight to the death for clean water. When you tell that to a European, someone in England, they're like, what the fuck is clean water? We haven't been able to ever drink our water. The Thames is beyond dead, radioactive. Like, who knows what the fuck lives in there? That water.
Hey, who would be a king in the U.S. if there was a king? Like, is there someone who comes to mind? Like, who would be a king?
Ross Perot.
No, he's not bloodline family.
Yeah, I'd say probably be
a Rockefeller or Rothschild.
Bill Gates.
Federal Reserve people.
Yeah, maybe. No, I would honestly say. I mean, I know this. However, I would say out of all of them, as far as like long-term power, and we're talking the Prescotts and where your fingers are. I would say the Bushes are probably as close as we have.
Yeah.
Royal family.
That's a good one there. Well, actually, the Clintons too, because they're all. You got to remember, they're all related now.
Yeah.
Obama as well.
Inbred.
Yep.
People leave him out of the bunch, but as soon as you start looking at it, crap, they're cousins.
Cheney, yeah.
Always. So there isn't a lot of, and like John Kerry's named after JFK. They're all these power elite East Coast families, and even though we kind of exemplify JFK, he was also part of those same families.
Okay, in the chat we got people voting for Pee Wee Herman, Eminem, and Clinton.
Yeah, that would be Pee Wee Herman would be kind of funny. Paul Rubens,
pedophile, huh?
Where would we put Eminem on the hierarchy? Like court jester?
Yeah.
Well, he hates Trump. I mean, he kind of fits in right now, but.
Yeah, I would not clown. You know what I mean? That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the court jester. So the guy that's, you know what I mean, going in, kind of the only person that ends up being able to make fun of the king.
Yeah, but he's too angry. He's not funny.
Yeah, anybody who's flying on purple mountains with blue and yellow purple pills is a little out there.
Yeah, I mean, he does. I mean, I don't know what he does now, but I mean, he did use drugs. It's the movie industry. I mean, I think at a certain point he was almost mocking it. You know what I mean? Like, look. Oh my God, he was on acid or what? I mean, what was he doing?
I don't know. He was doing drugs. That's all I know.
He was doing
shooting
everything.
Pistols too, man.
Yeah.
You got to be doing drugs, shooting pistols, fucking your hoe.
That is a point, but look, if you want to get down to the ground, cocaine, right? I mean, it's not like, what, is he the first artist to talk about drugs?
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, come on, that's old.
Snoop Dogg,
that's old.
He didn't. I'm not. Look, I mean, he's a musician. I really don't give that much of a fuck. But the point, you know what I'm saying? The point would be like he hasn't OD'd, and that's better than a lot of the people that they try to push as being goody goodies and all of that. I give him court justice. Come on, give Eminem some.
Well, see, that's why he's not great, because he's not dead. He didn't kill himself, with drugs or in some shootout like Tupac. I mean, come on, if you're a big bad rapper from fucking Detroit, you should have some shootouts with some people, and you don't hear about that with him. He's just, I don't know what he does.
Yeah, I think there's definitely, to be honest, that's kind of the point. You rap too much about shootouts and fucking all of that. Like, those stuff die quick. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not sure there isn't an old drug dealer retirement home. So I'm not.
Well, yeah. What do you do with an old white guy who wants to fall into the whole rapper thing nowadays? I mean, it's all legacy shit, man. I mean.
I know it seems like all of them are just putting a bunch of tattoos on their faces.
Hey, when you're not relevant anymore, you have to get weird. I mean, so okay, it's like you can't, and maybe you're a lightweight. He can't do as much drugs as, say, Miley Cyrus or some of these other people. You just can't hang with them.
Yeah.
So you're a lightweight.
You soft. You can't hang with Miley Cyrus. That's something that the movie and the entertainment industry doesn't tell you. Miley Cyrus hard. You know what I'm saying? That is Miley Cyrus's daughter. That girl been drinking straight fucking whiskey out of a bottle.
Yeah, it's like look, if you smoke weed, well, you can't. It's like, well, then you're compared, like, if you can't smoke like a quarter pound a day of dro like Snoop Dogg, you're a fucking lightweight.
Really was her babysitter. He was the safest.
I'm broke.
All of that. He was just smoking weed. Go over to Uncle Willie's house. What's he doing? I don't know, but he'll have something good to eat. Probably play the guitar.
Yeah, I mean, it's not easy to be a legend like Snoop Dogg. I mean, he's been doing that for, 30, 35 years now. I mean, come on.
He's old.
I mean.
Greatest rappers. But give Ice-T some credit. He's been doing it from the beginning.
Yep. Yeah. Dr. Dre, all them guys. Yeah.
Ice-T been hating since hating been hating. You know what I'm saying? Dude started out as a bank robber, a jewel thief at that, and then joined the army. Like, jewel thieving wasn't enough. And then he didn't even set out to be a rapper. It was just like, sometimes I speak in rhyme. So I was like, I put a track down. Yeah, do that. All right. And he was right. Like, he just walked in and was like, yeah, man, I got a record. Give me your wallet. But what happened? Ice-T just dropped a hot fucking track, right? What happened? He went in, he dropped the track, took my shoes, my wallet. He was real nice though.
Yeah, until they wrote the song "Cop Killer" and they were like, "No, get him off the air." That's when they come out with the hollow point bullets, that were actually being used to shoot cops.
He wrote "Cop Killer." Fuck, that was awesome. Every parent group on the planet went out and bought his CD. You guys stop doing that. Like, when you really hate somebody, don't go out and buy all their shit to burn it in effigy. They don't give a fuck. We went in and bought. This is when it was like Sam Goody and all of that. We went in there and bought every record that he had. Okay, thanks, man. You're biggest fan. Yeah.
Well, you got to play him when you get back to the crack house, yeah.
Fuck, man. Yeah, I always, he was doing like those. He was like a detective on one of those cop shows, NCIS, one of those. Is he still on there? I always feel like there would be some kind of hustle. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know he's playing a good guy and all of that, but like, if you got him, like, when you were in there, you're all like, come on, Ice, what's going on? You got the inside? You cleaning this place out or what?
Well, he had to do something to make up for, trying to entice people to kill cops.
Is this Ice-T you're talking about?
Yeah.
Tough, but
he's talking about Tupac now.
Well, yeah, he'd had some bad songs. Well, so did Snoop Dogg. He had 187 on an Undercover Cop. I mean, that was like cutting edge at the time,
Look at what Undercover.
He pissed off all the CHP on that one.
Look, okay, yeah, I mean, some of you guys are undermining, some really hard shit and all of that. But, I mean, take a step back and realize your job is to become as close as possible to somebody, become their best friend, get invited to their birthday parties, right? Be invited to their bar mitzvahs and fucking pool parties, barbecues, right? Become part of their family, and then fuck them over. Boom. That is cold, and it's something that our side has never been able to do. Right, when it comes, whether it's water protectors, whether it's the Black Lives Matter movement, no matter, pick a movement, right? All of them, and they have infiltrated every single one of them, right? That guy that's sitting next to you for years, it's been your best friend, works for death, right? And he gives them information, he plays the game, and we've never been able to do that. We've never been able to clean up our people and send them into the NSA. Right, send them into this organization and take them over from the inside. But they for damn sure are all over us. We don't have guys sitting outside watching where the mercenaries are coming back and forth from their hotel rooms. But as we do this show right now, we got security sitting down the street from us.
Well, there's endless money to keep track of everybody, or they just hire, somebody to do it. Send in some snitch or.
Yeah, but these guys, it's not the money. They pay those cops shit. It's not like fame. Nobody will ever know that you did it. A lot of times they're all fucked up because of it, right? So it's not. It gets to that. We don't have anybody that would infiltrate police departments to end police brutality, right? My one goal is to get to the top of the police. To be the police chief, right? To be right next to the dawn of the mafia. This guy works for 20 years to get there, just to fuck him over. But we never get a guy that joins to do that exact same thing on the other side, to the good. You know, it doesn't. When I say get them, you know, I'm not talking about, oh, you were next to somebody important, some oil exec to blow them away. I'm saying, why didn't, you know, we have people that don't go into those banking industries, and all of those industries work their way to the top and then take over. But they do the same thing, right? They'll send a guy in there, pay him pennies to bust his ass every day to get next to the Don or Whitey Bulge or whoever the fuck it is, right? To change whatever world they need to change. But we never are able to do that on the other side. It's fucked up. I don't know. I think it's true.
Yeah, but that's because the people who are like tired of that, they only like start whistleblowing after they already leave, right? So they can't infiltrate anything anymore. They already left. Like, yeah. Even though they're the big ones like Edward Snowden and stuff, they already left, and then they like have to be on the run, and then they start whistleblowing. So yeah. We don't have those luxuries. I mean, they have these luxuries of infiltrating. They have like money, and they don't have to like hide for the government, and so yeah.
I'm gonna tell you guys, for the people that do work in that line of work, I'm not gonna tell you guys not to take the money. Go ahead, take the money, whatever. What I am saying is, come on, ask for a little more. You know what I'm saying? Don't let them lowball you, right? Like, if you're gonna take money from the government, you know, these are black budgets. They got unlimited fucking budgets. Highball them, man. Like, really squeeze those motherfuckers for some cash. If you're gonna screw us over, you might as well do it for some real paper. You know what I mean? Don't be taking out and doing us over for 10,000 here or there. You know, add some zeros. Like whatever they give you, add some zeros. And be like, yeah, I'll give you the whole thing, whatever, blah 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 blah. I'll give you the emails or whatever they work in. You know, monitor us, whatever. But add some zeros to it. Make them work for it. I want to stimulate the economy.
Okay, in the chat they're talking about celebrities who did like do good stuff for like resistance and protest against corrupt government, and they're mentioning all kind of names. Honestly, I don't.
Yeah, Leonardo DiCaprio, some big names. They've done some shit.
Yeah, Leo, like for sure, Leonardo DiCaprio, even down to Standing Rock. Like I saw him put in the work.
Well, he drives a Hummer. he's like for like climate change, but he drives like a huge Hummer, and he drives to these parties with like a huge Hummer.
Yeah, well, it's we used to call those limousine liberals.
Yeah,
that's what. Yeah,
I'll go with that. And
that's an older term, but
yeah, there was what's the guy that? God dang it, the guy that the home playing in a Mark Ruffalo. Yeah, Mark Ruffalo. Yeah, he like honestly, I've been around him. I didn't get to meet him. Like there was all sorts of people there and important people that needed to talk to him. But like after he left, I got to work on some of the solar generators that he had bought and dropped off for Standing Rock, and they were awesome. Like, hey, hats off. And he didn't ask for like anything in return. There wasn't anybody to like work on them. They really we were kind of understaffed, so it was up to me and like 3 other people. To work on the solar generators, but they weren't cheap, right? I think he probably dropped off like $1 million. I don't know how rich he is or any of that shit, but like $1 million for equipment for the solar.
Come on, he's the Hulk.
He seems like a good guy, that guy. Yeah, I think rapper, I think it was Akon or something, did something similar for Africa. I think he
bought the whole electricity.
There's like 160 million people or something.
Yeah, which, I mean, he looked at it and he was like, wait a minute, like, we give it to this nonprofit that's literally spent billions of dollars. You know, there's 120,000 people here. How much does it for these people solar generators? This isn't rocket science. And he pretty much did it exactly like that. I mean, we can go down Paris Jackson. I know she's big into activism. Another one that was like in Puerto Rico. When we were there, there's celebrities that are doing good stuff, but I mean, I think people need to realize celebrities are just people.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I see people in the chat talk about like Alyssa Milano and stuff, but I know they're like activists, but I also see them like choosing like an obvious political side. So
like Sarah Silverman, you know what I mean? She came out with some really pointed stuff, and then it became obvious that okay, and that went beyond you know, that like I said, it started to go on to, okay, now you're just being used as propaganda. And if you look at like
wasn't Sarah Silverman like helping the DNC?
Yeah, she ended up in the end. That's where she went. But when she first came out, she said some really like good stuff. It was funny. It was, you know, it was witty. And if you look at like late night comedy right now, so like the late shows and all of those stuff, they're funny for sure, and all of that. But they are definitely left wing mouthpieces.
Most of Hollywood is, you know.
Yeah. All like, it's not okay. Yes, the right does some stupid and hilarious stuff. I totally agree. Right, nonstop. But I mean, the left is the same. It's the same way. There's just as much material there, if not more. And I don't know if I respect. There's a thing is that it's the easy target. We know that anybody can make fun of what Trump and the Republicans are doing. That's not us, right? That's not even all that witty. You know, your average Twitter post witty shit about what the president says. So making fun of that doesn't mean anything. The real like debate and political commentary through comedy would be, you know, making fun of the left in the same way. It's a circus over there.
Yeah.
Nancy Pelosi, are you fucking shitting me? You don't have anything like, listen, like the people that are late night comedy, right? The daily shows and all of those. You can't find anything funny to say about Nancy Pelosi. Nothing.
Well, they're political hacks and shills. I mean, it's obvious, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a joke for sure.
Hillary Clinton came out with Hillary 4.0. You don't have anything funny to say about that? No, none of your millennial writers have anything to say about Hillary 4.0.
Is she running again for real?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's coming. They're already hinting at it.
For real,
yep.
like she's.
Well, yeah, because the Republicans won't do anything about the criminality, so she gets to run again.
So we have a choice next year or 2 years from now. Trump and Hillary again. Like.
Yeah, even banana republics throw their presidents in jail sometimes when it's needed. You know, but we don't do that here.
We need to.
Just vote independent.
I don't know.
In all of the U.S. and I mean possibly the fucking world, you can't find anyone that's like a young, charismatic, fucking progressive person that you can use as a puppet. Nobody. The best you can offer is Hillary Clinton.
It's like, you know, couldn't they pick out somebody out of a hat that like has, you know, I don't know, somewhat of a better track record than her?
I think she's ran 3 times now, right? And like, we're down to 4-face now. You know, every 4 to 8 years, you reinvent yourself. Fucking.
You know why? She probably goes to the DNC and she says, "If you don't do it, I'm just gonna put you down 6 feet under."
What
you know.
Well, she's got all the super delegates bought off. She owns the party.
She's got dirt on everybody. That's how she sticks. She sticks
well,
around.
You know, but how doesn't that work both ways? Hey, we got a lot of dirt on you too, Hillary. You know, you're a piece of shit.
Yeah, but
all right?
Hillary can get away with anything.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And the Republicans don't do anything about it. I don't know what their future.
Because she's got dirt on
how
them too.
You're trying to win elections by letting criminals run free. You know?
She's got dirt on everybody, bro. That's how she gets off scot-free.
Even then.
Oh man, come on.
I mean, like how it's extremely one-sided. There is so much there with Hillary Clinton and that whole setup. Like, who is driving that bus? Like, they've got a committee of the big wigs, the people that are in charge, and they sit down, and at that table, they're all like, "Oh, Hillary, definitely."
Yeah. Wait a minute. Hey, what? I mean, in a Republican side, those would be a bunch of older white guys in a smoky back room. How do they do it over there at the Democratic Party?
Prostitute.
I mean, it's not smoky, but I mean, how do they? You know, what does it look like when they do that?
Cocaine and beer.
Okay.
Cocaine and prostitutes.
You don't like beer? What beer? You don't like beer?
Cocaine and Stormy Daniels.
What about Squee? You know what I mean? What does Squee think about this? You know who sits at that board? Squee sits at that fucking board. Right? How about you?
Well, I don't think these Republicans even want to like have Clinton prosecuted because it's like a guaranteed win for them in 2020.
Yeah, if I was on the Republican side, I would be calling the Democrats and be like, "Yeah, Hillary Clinton, sure, fuck, that's
yeah, it's like a guaranteed win." I mean,
like, no, we're thinking in that piece over here, man. We're definitely last person we want to see is Hillary Clinton. Like already, you must have. Look, there's no denying America is racist as fuck. In the middle of the Iraq War, you couldn't beat a guy named Barack Hussein Obama. In America, this is America, and you could not beat a dude. There are people just saying the word Hussein could get you assaulted.
I had some people convinced that he was actually related to Saddam Hussein.
No, dude, he was claiming Southside, bro. He only lived in Chicago for like what 5 years before he ran. He's not from the Southside. He was a rich prick his whole life.
I mean, nobody has risen as fast as that guy. Nobody.
To be honest, Magic Johnson has the good time of. Like, he looks great. Obama looks great. He's been getting sun, running around on jet skis.
Yeah.
Drones striking people. Supporting.
These guys are selected. They're not elected. They're selected actors, and he was like got the perfect radio voice, so he was the obvious candidate.
Hello, this is Barack Obama.
Yeah.
Well, you have to remember what you're being given. You're being given corporate schmuck candidates that have been groomed for this purpose. Oh yeah. And you think you're electing somebody. I mean, that is fucking hilarious, man.
Bush is, no matter how you slice it, right? Bush Jr. was extremely charismatic on television, right? As charismatic as arguably Kennedy and Reagan were. Reagan was.
Bush Jr. always had that. To me, he always had that like stupid deer in headlights look. Like, what the fuck is going on?
That's because he's stupid.
That's what I thought.
He is stupid. He's a drunk on top of that.
And it's always been Democrat or Republican that's been elected. I think there's like been one independent elected, and that was maybe Roosevelt or Andrew Jackson. I don't recall.
Obama.
He was like the Progressive Party. That was probably Teddy Roosevelt.
Yeah, I do agree with Terrence that Bush guy was like a smooth talker. Yeah, he was kind of like a dumb guy, but he was a smooth talker for sure. He's like
that kind of, what was that? Was it Columbo? What was the one where you're in like the courtroom and you kind of play a bumbling idiot?
Matlock.
Well, now Cheney was running the show there. See, I mean, you could have a guy like that. He's a great placeholder. You can make jokes about him. He's a sideshow. While Cheney runs the true government and crams it down your throat.
Cheney got drunk and shot his friend in the face.
I think that George Bush played his part perfectly. Nobody, we all talk about how horrible Obama and Trump are, and they are bad, but holy crap. A dude invaded 3 separate countries, destabilized the entire world, right? Basically created Islamic extremism to make money from Halliburton. Is a war criminal like it didn't get any better than that. That is true power. You look at like what was actually done.
Well, he had the perfect storm. He had the Twin Towers, and then he had a selected enemy.
And he could come out, and no doubt he held up that microphone. Morning, America. We've been attacked by some really bad hombres. Right? We have to
go in there like the Alamo.
Right, and you would buy it 100%, and you can almost like there's a Reagan-esque quality of it that push come to shove, he's not the smartest, but his heart's in the right place. American, look for that whole Texas accent, right? Where you guys are from Massachusetts, live there until your late 30s. You can't even ride a fucking horse, right? Where are you getting off being a Texan? But he played it.
He can't ride a horse. He's oil money.
Well, I'll tell you what, there are a lot of dumb Texans down there that voted for that motherfucker.
Yeah, cowboy boots, and like he played the part like some kind of cowboy, right? Howdy, Saudis.
A lot of them, man. I mean, that has happened a lot, man.
But like I said, those guys. I mean, Trump in his own way, he's charismatic in a completely other way. right? He can get on, and whether you love him or hate him, you're watching it, right? Whether you're running him, whether you're left wing and you're writing it to fucking slam the whole thing, or you're on the right and you're writing it to praise every word he says, at the end of the day, you're watching it, and that is charisma. If you're the guy on the other end that's selling Viagra in between commercials, you don't give a fuck if it's on Fox News or CNN. You think they give a shit? Yeah, you don't care if they're watching it because they hate Trump or they're watching it because they love him. You're still seeing that Viagra commercial in between.
Oh, speaking of CNN, Trump kicked out a reporter from CNN and took his press pass, and they're fighting.
They're butthurt about it.
Well, they're fighting him in court, and decision will be on Thursday. And Fox News is backing up CNN, which is kind of weird. So,
well, wait a minute. How do you even get in a court and get a decision that quick? I mean, what kind of special treatment's going on here? What is that all about?
No due process in America no more.
I mean, you just filed the. I mean, come on,
Yeah, next day, right? They'll have a ruling by the end of the week, right?
This doesn't happen in normal people's cases,
Yeah, I mean, boy, talk about priest class,
That one guy got the two Monsanto was fighting them for years and decades before they even.
Well, I got to give it for Trump. I mean, Trump was out of line. He was saying some bad shit, but the other guy, he didn't. He like the report the lady who passes over the mic. He kept on like grabbing it from her. He did do that. Yeah.
But that's the deal. You can't have your little minions rip away the people's voice every time they ask you a question you don't like. Acosta is kind of a jackass. And I'll put it like this: questions need to be asked, and a lot of times those questions are asked by assholes, right? The left hates him. They'll ask questions that make him look dumb as fuck, right? They call out whatever they're trying. That's true. The questions he asks are real. That's fine. But a couple of days before that, and I posted this on his Twitter and everything, right? A couple of days before that, he posted a video from the Trump rally, and he goes to the Trump rally specifically to like call people out and like hit you in the eye in the I got you moments, and they'll go through hundreds and hundreds of people in those situations, like interview you real quick, and they'll pick out the worst of them. So he gets this lady that comes over and asks him, "Oh, are you being paid by George Soros?" Right? And he on Twitter that he like puts her in her place. That no, I don't work for George Soros. That's a conspiracy. This is the kind of stupid shit you see on Trump rallies. Blah 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 blah. But the truth is, no, Soros doesn't write him a check personally. But Soros does sit on the journalism board. Soros does own CNN. Soros does pull your strings. In fact, right now at this very moment, get on there and talk about how Soros undermined the English pound and started starving the English economy. Right? On CNN right now, say that, because that's happened. That is fact. That is history. That is reality. Right? But he specifically tried to make that point over Soros that was 100% a lie. 100% propaganda. But no, and he made a huge thing on posting it on there, and it was like, okay, no, he doesn't write your checks. It doesn't say courtesy of Judge Soros. Thanks, Acosta. No, that's not what's happening there. But yes, he does sit on your boards. He does pull the strings. He does tell you to do what to do, whether that's not mention the horrible things they've done in the world or support Hillary Clinton over Bernie Sanders. He'll say jump, and you will say how high. But no, he doesn't do a personal check.
Well, he's a paid prostitute. He's a corporate shill, political shill. And here's the other thing. Jim Acosta, I mean, look, they're not kicking CNN out. They're just kicking that jackass out. CNN can bring somebody else in. And here's the other thing. They kicked out InfoWar and other people that have been trying to get into the press corps all the time. So what's up with that? They give them a pass for a month and then they took it away. So what's going on there? I mean, it's like nobody gives a shit about that. Oh, but if it happens to this jackass, all of a sudden it's a big deal.
Well, because it's corporate media. It's the Bernie Madoff, right?
It's the CIA MK Ultra Mockingbird Operation Mockingbird Media. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, fuck, I forgot. That's right. They're in charge. What was I thinking? Yeah.
Why? And that's the deal. Now, I will say, God, it takes some balls to stand up and
Dear Mr. President, are you a racist? And is that white shit hanging out of your coattail? Is that your hood that you wear at night at those rallies?
Oh.
Oh, dude, that is a racist question.
Good question.
The real question is like, hey, are you going to quit allowing Saudi Arabia to starve and murder innocent people in Yemen? How about that question? Right? Okay, fine. You want to talk about the Russian probe? Fine. Fuck the Russian probe. Right? You're going to stop selling arms to psychopaths that are murdering innocent people? Tell us right now. What benefit to America does murdering those people have? Ask that question.
Yeah, killing the Yemen, the Houthis. Yeah.
Hey.
They like killing people. I mean, come on, man. That's what it's all about. You got to get yourself in a position where you can kill people.
You know what? You know what's the fucking shitty part is that as much as like our government thinks that we owe the Saudis that much because of the oil shit, like literally we have as much resources over on our side that we really don't need them. Like we really don't.
It's like fuck that. It's like fuck the Saudis and fuck oil. Like everything that touches that shit, it turns into this nightmare. And even if it's that, fine, foreign policy too fucking much for you. Look, man, can you send those 5,000 troops that you have waiting for asylum seekers to fucking California, right? So we pull more than dead bodies out of the hills there, right? How about that question, right? How about water? Can you send 5,000 people to fix Flint's fucking water like today? Can you do that? Oh, we don't have the time. Just hand them out fucking water filters, man.
Well, actually, you know, like I do blame the wildfires, like in California. There's a problem. There's a problem with you never see them doing water drops at night, and the Air Force has the technology to give to the sea cranes or the water bearing planes to give them the night vision and the targeting equipment to the firefighters that do the water drops at night. But the Air Force won't give it to them because it's because part of the program is classified.
Oh, well, hell, just let the motherfucker burn, right?
Yeah, that's exactly
okay.
That's exactly what the Air Force wants.
That's no big deal.
If you can see in the dark, and that's the deal, like, they may kill a couple of people with that, right? They're whatever.
Yeah, with the water, dropping water on trees, they're going to kill somebody.
Well, didn't they have that C-130 firefighting plane grounded too for a while all these fires are burning? What's up with that?
Don't know.
It's like they have this infinite amount of power, and then as soon as it comes time to, hey, can you help out the people? Like, okay, look, if you can send 5,000 troops that obviously don't want to be there, are like totally fucking like being used as pawns, you want a parade, right? Send them to do something fucking good. Anything, man. You got a whole list of shit that needs done.
And it will, but you're supposed to believe that it's climate change, Tyler. Climate change caused the fires. It's not because we left all the wood and all the shit in the forest to burn and then sprayed it with all this chemtrails, the lithium and the aluminum and all the other shit they're trying to kill you with, and now it goes up like a firecracker.
I know. I always have my theories that 90% of the fires starting in California are by firebugs, crazy people.
Well, no, I think, look, there's
the whole government's nuts.
We have to look at this. It's not like an easy war thing. We create these perfect storms. Part of it, the same with the hurricanes. Part of it is climate change in the bigger storms. Storms also happen, right? At a certain point, floods and all of this, we weren't building our buildings up to code. We were just leaving people kind of fucked. With these wildfires, yeah, climate change part of it.
They're saying the news is claiming that this fire is the biggest one that Californians ever have. That's a complete lie. In the 90s,
nope.
The mid-90s, there was the Ventura fire that burned for like 4 fucking months. That was the biggest fire that California ever had.
I think there's a lot of things. We've taken all of the natural aquifer out of it for these corporate farms. We've raised the temperature. We've built in places that we shouldn't. We've sold land for stupid reasons to stupid people, and we've just kind of created the perfect storm for these fires. But it's kind of like everything else that's going in the world. Yeah, we continue to do it to ourselves.
We need to name the corporations doing that, like Nestle. That Nestle is like responsible for the water and
Yeah, like none of Colorado gets down to the ocean anymore. None of it. None of it. So there's all sorts of like reasons in this little triangle at the moment that's causing, these wildfires. And that's just one thing. I mean, a lot of the problems that are going on, it's like...
Oh yeah, something that wasn't mentioned, that isn't mentioned on the local news, that RT kind of covered. In the Simi Valley, there was a nuclear facility in the Simi Valley that had a partial failure in 1959, and they left all the shit there as a nuclear toxic waste burial place or whatever, and that place burned to the fucking ground.
Yeah, that can't be good.
Yeah.
That's actually probably pretty bad.
They're not talking about this in the news. The only one that's covering it is there's a government, the California Department of Toxic Substances is announcing it, and so is Russian television, but nobody else is talking about it.
Yeah, well, what's this? But how come every time they fuck up out in California, they're all about the environment and they got control of all this shit, and then they fuck up left and right, but then they don't want to talk about it.
Nobody knew that.
It's nothing they did.
Nobody knew that was there.
No, they did. They knew. Look, there was a lot of DoD contractors in there and nuke stuff going on, and all they did is build over it. You guys are getting radiated out there all the time because all they did is literally sweep it under the rug, told you it was good, and then they started building.
Yeah, and look, they do that in Arizona, like, pretty openly, right? New Mexico, they'll build housing complexes on top of open radioactive sites. And if you guys noticed, real recently, they raised the radiation level that the government can consider safe.
They're like, oh yeah, 20 rads per 20 rads is fine. Just don't worry about it. Your teeth will fall out, your hair, it'll grow back eventually.
I mean, that's way above.
They call it Mel Baldwin pattern.
Yeah.
There's a amount of natural radiation that happens.
Gamma radiation is a little bit of gamma radiation never hurt anybody.
Yeah,
it's about the same level as Central Chernobyl.
Exactly. Everybody was fine there.
Or look, if you look. You can run a Geiger counter over your can of tuna right now. It is radioactive as fuck.
Is Huntington Beach still radioactive out in California?
Oh.
I think it all is, man, because I'm telling you, they didn't do anything except dump it, literally sweep it under the rug, spread it around a little, and they started building. They didn't do shit.
Yeah, when there was that nuclear facility that had a partial meltdown, they just turned it into a nuclear waste site. That's what they did.
Yeah, they don't care.
Just turn it into a nuclear waste site, pave it over, and I don't know, put like a school for inner city kids or something.
Well, see, this is what you can expect when you have a jackass for a government and jackass for corporations. You get jackass results like what you see. They don't care about you.
There's never a time when you should just be straight up dumping radiation, chemicals, harmful shit into your environment and just kind of pushing some dirt over it. Yeah, it looks good there.
Well, yeah, the local channels aren't covering it, but but international news is like covering what was burned over,
And it wasn't like stored correctly or any real, with any real. Oh yeah, we just we put some duct tape on it and just put it there. Yeah, it said it had to be a foot under the ground.
Yeah, of course it's leaking into the water, but who cares? It's all a big joke.
Yeah, put some gravel over it. Should be good.
Yeah, well, at some point you just have to realize that the people who are in power don't care about humans at all. I mean, talk about Palestine or Syria or Myanmar or Yemen or what's happening in Brazil and Venezuela. It's happening all over the world, and people are dying, and these people at the top don't care though. They can stop it in a matter of weeks, but they don't.
Will, this has been it. Whether you're the
I'm surprised we never invaded Myanmar. That's still a communist country.
We can. Well, I mean, we let. I mean, Myanmar is a nightmare. I was there in 2013, That's
the government's killing all the Rohingya.
Yeah, I mean that's they
Speaking of which, you want to hear some fucked up? All of the Rohingya that escaped to Bangladesh are given to November 24th, and they're going to deport them back to Myanmar, which is a guaranteed death sentence.
Yeah, and look, they will line them. I mean, I can't, like, I really don't want to go down some of those roads right now. But
that would be like sending the people that escaped Venezuela to like Colombia or Brazil and sending them back to Venezuela.
Well, that's exactly what they do. When they talk about, oh, well, we've got X amount of children and we can't find their parents. Look, man, you sent them back to Venezuela. They're dead. They killed them.
Yeah, and another thing that's going on, I forgot to put this in the notes. The Syrians that had left to the refugee sites in Jordan and Libya, Lebanon, Assad is basically giving the owners of the rubble, the owners of what was left of the city or houses, they're giving them 1 year to come back and claim that they owned it, or the Assad regime is going to acquire it. So basically, he's gonna steal people's property if they don't come back to Syria.
Yeah, and he's been like really, even the people that have escaped, like they said, they can't go back. There's bounties on everybody's head.
Well, the Kurds are mad at Assad. He promised the Kurds that he would give them land, and he teamed up with the Turks, and just started killing them after they fought the war. They fought off ISIS basically. They're the ones that make up the SDF and the YPG.
Yeah, everybody uses the Kurds as their kind of foot soldiers. The Kurds would like to have a little piece of like 3 countries. They'll never really going to get that because the country they're trying to make Kurdistan doesn't exist. And every country that
there's like 30 million Kurds though. They have their own language, their own army.
No, I'm not saying that the Kurdish people don't exist.
Oh yeah.
Country that they're trying to cut out of 3 other countries doesn't exist. It never has.
Yeah.
Like, there's never Kurdistan like that. I'm not saying that the people of Kurdistan and their language and their culture doesn't exist, but their culture isn't tied to a country like that. But every nation that through uses them as foot soldiers, and then they kind of use them, and they're not. You kind of feel like, oh well, they're not really. They're killing their own people. There's nothing that we can do. And the U.S. promises them their own country. Everybody promises the Turks their own country, and they do these terrorist actions and really horrible stuff in hopes that they're going to get a country that nobody has an intention of giving them.
Yeah.
Turkey can't give you a piece of Syria. Syria can't give you a piece of Turkey. But yet both sides, right? Iran will promise you a piece of both of them if you chop up your neighbors for us real quick.
Yeah, they're never going to get their own country. I mean, they're just being used, of course. Only more of them dying in wars.
But you know who will? Is Israel, because they are the chosen people in the chosen land.
We were talking
the chosen, the promised land is the Levant, and also some of these countries are going to have to give up something.
Right.
So, and you know damn well they're going to pull it off.
Yeah, but Israel got a serious army. I mean, they got a serious army, like a serious air force, everything.
They got like 40 nukes.
Good doctors.
I think God is going to be so proud of you. Like, wow, way to go. You exterminated other creations. Awesome. And guys, come on. I understand, like, the Holy Land's nice. It's pretty, I guess. You guys have built some real cool shit. But none of the stuff that I saw there was built by God, which is kind of what I was going there for. And out of the most beautiful places that I've seen on the planet, not even close. And when you think of the amount of bloodshed, you would think God would be absolutely positively disgusted. Like, the person that wins, you're all like, great, awesome.
Yay, we won this Holy Land with blood.
Woo!
God's gonna love this.
It just seems like the whole religious, if you're just gonna do the whole, we're heartless bastards, we're going to wipe out every person and start whatever the game that you're playing, right? But the whole religious aspect of it makes it so weird because you would think, fuck, what God would be into that? Not just that, but just over history, like what God would be into that?
Well, here's what I think people miss. That seems real obvious to me is they wrote the story, and of course it's their story, and they're the good guys, and you know their the history and all that. So of course, and being narcissistic like they are, of course the story is about them. In fact, it's all about them, isn't it? When you really think about it, because they don't give a fuck about you.
Okay,
this is all about them and their religion and their promised land. It's not about anybody else.
So it'd be, not in numbers, so not like in how it's the Bible's put together, but as far as the oldest book that we have ever found of the Bible, the oldest book is the story of Job. And if you guys know the story, I don't know, what I mean? If you guys, like, if one of the other hosts knows, knows the story of Job, knows how that whole thing plays out. But at one point, the guy pops up, has a bet with God, and says, hey, this guy Job, he's your favorite, right? You've given him a great family, a flock, his life is awesome. But if his life wasn't so awesome, he wouldn't love you so much. And this is at a time Job's like the first Christian, so everybody else is having a blast, doing a pagan thing, right? And God takes the bet, right? And he gives him boils, murders his family. Like, he's sitting there eating dinner. It turns into like this orgy stab fest. The roof collapses in on him, murders everybody. It's fucking sheep drop dead, right? It's just horrible things happening over this bet between him and God, that if life wasn't as good, the people wouldn't love him anymore, right? Now, eventually, right, Job called out on the earth and asked him, why are you doing this to me, right? And he says, I was wrong, and he gives him a whole new family, right? But the world that we live in, being the nightmare that the Holy Land has become, that religion has become, the argument over Jesus and this and that, and the nightmare that any good that God would have represented has became. I always wonder, was that really our first interaction with God? Because the world we live in and the God described in Job, the vindictive, right? The person that would make a bet with the devil and do horrible things to you to prove that you loved him, that God seems to exist, right? The one that would say, hey, I'll have 3 brothers, a Jew, a Christian, and a Muslim. You guys all come from the same place in the world. I want you to spend all eternity murdering the fuck over each other.
I'll bet a fiddle of gold against your soul.
The devil said, hey, I bet you if you sent your son back, right, they would spend the next 3,000 years murdering each other over it. Bet. Right? That deity seems to exist, and that is the first book of the oldest book that we know of the Bible. All those other stories of love and blah 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 blah, I don't see any of that, right? But that God that was in Job, right, the God that would bet and let those kind of terrible things happen, right? That God seems to exist. Now, whether he created the universe and all of that, whether at any time you can step back and say, hey, I'm not going to murder my brother man because, well, that's fucking stupid.
And then he burned Sodom and Gomorrah because they were too evil.
Yeah, but that's God doing it. The things that we see are all with man. Right? We don't see that anymore.
Well, the other hoax is to telling you it's the word of God, but it's all been written by man.
Yeah, it's
none of that was, so that's that sleight of hand, and the double talk that goes on. And then everybody starts repeating, oh, yeah, it's the word of God. Oh, well, no, it's not.
Oh, yeah, you look, I mean, it's pretty to see. Even if there was, right, you went up to the top of the mountain, you got a tablet, thou shalt not kill. Well, I mean, thou shalt not murder. I mean, thou shalt not murder from mistake.
Don't sleep with your neighbor's wife, etc. Don't steal.
Unless it's for war or land or money or the wall we need in Palestine or, the Holy Land or some sort of dome, right? Or a wall, right? Those things you can murder on, right? None of that is fucking said, but for sure that's what we believe, right? There's guys that preach on fucking prosperity gospel. prosperity gospel. You call yourself Christian, a person that follows Christ. The only time the guy got angry, right, was with money changers in the fucking church. And you're doing a dance for money in the church. Are you serious?
Well, you got to be like Creflo Dollar, man, and that's prosperity gospel. See, that's how you do it.
And he's making money hand over fist. If nothing, that's real. That is real. That's that's a perfect example of.
Well, Terrence, isn't that proof that it's real and it works? I mean, praise be to Jesus. I mean, look.
Well, yeah, I talked.
It's right there,
To send me fucking $100, baby. I got a Bentley. God loves me. If there is nothing, right?
I got a $65 million jet.
Yeah, Bentley. Right? You remember when Jesus was like, "Fuck," and when we get to the future, you need to fuck the poor people, right? You need a jet. You need a Bentley. You need some $1,000 suits.
Because we all know that's how Jesus rolled.
I mean,
Jesus rolled blunts.
Yeah.
Opulence.
I mean, I remember all those stories in the Bible. They always said to do that.
No, what is that? That's Creflo 9:16, right? Get that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the fuck thy neighbor verse there,
And I wonder if he says, is he do you think that they're the kind of ego that he believes it? Like he sits down and prays at night and he's all like, "But Lord, do you think I should get the Oscars and hear you? Are you sure?" Maybe God is whispering in his ear. I don't know what Jesus was talking about. I like gold. Did you not talk to the Pope? Right? Like, you look at that completely wrong. Jesus may have actually been the Son of God, and who rebelled against the Father more? Right? Like, he was hit the streets and was all like, "Nah, fuck those guys." But in actuality, God loves that paper.
Look, Barabbas is good, Jesus is bad. Come on.
Fuck that duel.
And what you never do, what I never hear is the Hebrews talk about how they killed Jesus. That never seems to come up in conversation much. Like, but what a bunch of sorry motherfuckers they are.
Look, yeah, look, at the end of the day, somebody killed Jesus. Okay. Yeah, look, what about the dude that stabbed him in the fucking side? Thanks, homie.
Yeah.
Make sure he's dead. Poke him. Nah, fuck you, man. And he's supposed one of the spear of destiny and all of that shit. Oh, good. Now I'm a believer. See, he really is the Son of God. Fuck you, man. Shut him down.
Yeah, it's like the Catholic story with the spear that killed him, but yeah, the Catholics they're arguably the strongest power in Christianity. Like they found the solution already. You can sin as much as you want. Just you buy a little paper from them for a few gold coins and.
An indulgence.
Yeah, you burn 10 million years less in the fire. So yeah.
I wonder.
If you believe that, you'll believe anything. I mean, oh really? Oh man, I can pay you guys, and you'll take care of this for me. Oh fuck, that's what I was worried about. That that didn't even sound right. I mean, come on,
you gotta pay for your sins, right? Paper, dollars, money. Come on.
Yeah, that's what they did. Yeah, they still do, I guess. I mean, they actually still donate to this church. They're sitting on all this gold, this church. I mean, if that Jesus guy was real, he would be pissed off right now.
Well, no, officially they're holding it for Jesus on his second coming, and his return. That's the gold's going to be there for him when he returns.
Yeah,
that's why they're doing that. Yeah, I mean, do you believe that?
Is he going to need cash? I thought. Did you not read the fish story? I don't think he needs money, man.
But this is the kind of shit people believe. This is blows me away.
Right, the universe. It's a big place. Earth isn't even all that fucking spectacular, right? Creator of the universe, and you need paper.
Yeah, the same group that was killing scientists who were telling you that the Earth rotated around the sun. Oh my God, we got to kill you for that, because we know what's going on here, and they didn't know shit.
Oh no, we'll kill you. Not just kill you, man. We gotta torture you first. Do some weird butt.
Yeah, for hundreds of years, we got to suppress the truth. I mean, something simple like that. And these are the guys in the know.
Weird butt stuff. Right? Same with, you can always know when you've went complete, like when your country has went all the way. So like at Guantanamo, we like force feed people like through tubes, like butt tubes, right? Filled with hummus. We force feed people that are on hunger strike. Like, that's like Nazis, fucking the Spanish Inquisition, like Guantanamo. Anytime you get down to doing weird butt stuff to prove a point, it's you've gone tyrannical. Like, look around. If you've got a policy right now to shove stuff up people's butts, right? You've gone full on tyrannical. Just step back from it.
Yeah, and then you burn like millions of women because they're interested in healing people with nature medicines and stuff. So
they're witches.
Yeah, you call them witches because they're like healing people with nature and stuff, right? I mean, yeah.
No, nature is evil to be dominated.
Witchcraft.
Yeah, nature is evil to be dominated by man, by God's one chosen. Like, it's the chosen people, but then, like, we're chosen people altogether. People specifically. No? I'm not real clear on that.
No, just be real clear. It's just us, okay? That might clear it up. It doesn't have anything to do with you or the goy, and no, we're not going to have that, yeah.
Okay, so he just happens to like y'all. It hasn't, now, to be honest. We had quite a bad run, but geez, that's why I was going back to the joke thing. For being God's chosen people, y'all are kind of treated like God's chosen people. Is the way to go. And that's not necessarily a good thing.
I think it goes to your head. Well, I don't think. I know it goes to their head, because if you say that to yourself enough over all these generations, you're going to start to believe it.
Well, it just seems like such a jump. If God comes to you and says, look, you are my chosen people, and then scoots back off to heaven, and your next step is kill everyone! That doesn't seem... Where did you get those two things? I said you were chosen people. I didn't say murder everybody. What the fuck? Like, that out of context. Where did... Like, that's the deal. Where does it... Fuck, for the things that are going on right now in Jerusalem and Gaza or whatever, where the fuck does it say any of that?
Have you ever seen that movie with Jack Black? It's called Year One, where he's talking to Abraham, and he comes across that scene where he talks to God and he thinks that the sign of him not chopping his son in half means that he gets so excited that he says we need to chop off our dicks to make God happy, and they start to.
That's exactly what he did. So, it's fucking mind-blowing, right? So, okay, between a covenant between man and God, you have to be circumcised. You have to cut off the end of your dick. Nobody was doing it before then, right? So, like, what the fuck, man? I hate
You know what this is? That's some guy who thought it was funny and a joke. It's like, look, let me see if I can tell these people, like, the most outrageous shit I can come up with. And they actually bought it, okay? It's like, yeah, you got to slice your dick. It's for God,
Hey, the show really like me. I'm gonna need you to cut off the end of your penis. And nobody was like, can I?
No, it's like, no, fuck you. I want my dick. You're not gonna do that.
Can I talk to your supervisor? Like, I know you got it from God and all of that, but can I talk to God real quick? Because, dude, I was totally with it. The Lamb, the One, the Chosen. I was told, why do I have to cut off the end of my dick again? It seems like if God didn't want me to have the end of my dick, he would have made me without it. No.
Okay, yeah. Here's the thing. Look, if they can tell you shit like that, and you'll fall for it and do it, they got you right literally by the balls almost. They got you by your dick. All right. I mean,
I would know to talk people into do it where they didn't just agree with you when they were like, "Did you cut off the end of your dick?" Yo, yeah, like lots of it.
Well, in the Quran, in certain belief systems in Islam, they do FGM.
Oh, yeah, and that's like what? Where? What? Why are you coming up with this coordinate?
Well, yeah, they'll cut off the clitoris and then they'll sew the vagina shut until she gets married. Yeah.
Dear Lord.
Yeah.
They make it so that because it's supposed to be for procreation. And this is like, and this isn't like a Muslim exclusive thing. This is like another like extremist group as well. But then they mutilate the clitoris and all of the nerve endings and everything. So it has sex. Oh, sorry. The other woman, the woman in the room, is like crying.
Well, no, man. I mean, look, if they can, look, it's like a lot of things. Look, if they can gaslight you into believing shit like this, they got you, man. That's all I can tell you. You're like,
just like, whoa.
There's a sucker born every day.
Yeah, really. I mean, come on, man.
One, I'm not about my penis, and number two, like that's like my wife or whoever you're with, your girlfriend. Like I'm plan on being. You got to be nice to the vagina. You can't be fucking it up like.
You can't sew it shut until marriage.
What are you doing? Who did you talk to? Like I said, again, can I talk to your supervisor?
We got people talking to cutting off their turtlenecks. Yeah.
Well,
or God used to require you to go up and like sacrifice one of your children. Like, thanks, Dad.
These are all cultist and political interpretations. Like, and you're like even anti-religious, like because you're like claiming that like God like did like an imperfect job, and you still have to like finish it yourself. Like you have to like cut a piece off your penis to finish it.
Yeah, like
you're losing an inch and a half.
Yeah, I think it's ribbed for her pleasure.
Oh God, we can't have that. See, that's the other thing. What we have to do as an entity, you know, going way back as any kind of government, is convince the average Joe to do stupid shit like this, to just fuck them up, right? If you can get them to do all these things, you got them under control. You know, that's how they know they got you under control now in the U.S. You know, it's like if Hillary can sell uranium she doesn't own and rig elections and all these other things, you know, they got you, man. If you'll fall for that and there's no accountability, they got you, and they know they got you.
It's exactly, why are you not asking those kind of questions? Like, it's why do you need me to cut off the end of my penis? Right? Should be asking, wait a minute, why do you need me to like vote for corrupt people?
I just need you to trust the plan now to cut off your penis.
Oh yeah, it's Q. It's part of the
trust
plan.
The plan.
Right? Yeah, right.
Yeah, go along, get along.
The plan, that's been a great plan so long. You know, right now the government doesn't give a shit about me now. Follow the plan. I mean, come on, man. It's just.
Well, and just like, okay.
But I'll tell you, man. There's a lot of people that I mean, they send me. It's like, what do you think? They got some new video from Q. You know, and I'm looking at it. It's just like, it's total fucking horseshit. And it's just like, why are you sending me this crap? You know, this is from people that should know better, but they got this hope. They want to believe things are going to be better in some other place, you know, and we could just get there. And it's like, grow up, man. Get some goddamn balls, do what you're supposed to, and you'll get there. But, you know, believe in fucking Q? Are you kidding me?
Well, and the only thing that you take away from that is I'll just follow the plan.
Yeah, so that's a good job for a loser, right? Oh, just follow the plan. Yeah, just sit back in your easy chair and don't do jack shit, because that's what you're really good at. You know, don't do nothing. Just sit there and follow some guy. We're going to call him Q, capital Q at that, not a small Q, a capital Q.
Capital Q.
That's fucking Trump. I'm for real. Did you guys notice? I was on Twitter. Q had put out was in a commercial on Fox News, and not even 20-30 minutes later, there's Donald Trump. It just follows suit. There's Q, then you see Trump. There's Q, and then you see Trump.
Well, I think it's definitely a psyop of something, to be honest with you.
At least. Yeah.
Now, and I think it may be through Breitbart, and I've said this before, okay, Steve Bannon is a lot of things, right? But he is not stupid. And when it comes to using social media, he's extremely cunning. Out of everybody to go up against as far as propaganda, as far as being able to get out news information, false information, memes, all of that shit, he's really, really good at that. good enough to know that he can set up what he needs to set up, get out of the White House, and be much more successful as Q, right? Use he would be next to Donald Trump. You can say whatever you want as Q. You can say whatever your people want to hear as Q.
And look what they're doing to that Michael Avenatti dude. I wonder how much they paid his wife to say he hit me.
I'm pretty sure he beat her ass. He's a shit sleazy lawyer. I don't see this like a porn star's lawyer beat up his wife. Oh, there's a fucking surprise.
Hey, it's a little S&M. It got out of hand. What's the big deal?
Yeah, I mean, I don't. What made you, other than the fact that he was representing someone that is saying things about mean things about people that you don't like? What made you respect him in any way, shape, or form? Because
he had a bunch of money.
Daniel?
No offense.
Well, because he was standing next to a gal that's got giant jugs. Let's face it. That's
they were all over it. The left was all over it.
You know, I mean, I was looking at them. I don't even like their politics, or I don't even like them, but I was sure as hell looking at those tits.
Oh, you know? out of everything, right? I think it is such a waste of time in every way, shape, or form. Now, that being said, now I know we've all heard the fucking. Did I say this last time? She goes back in her book and what she says it had that same sentence about fucking his dingus and what, a little mushroom or something, toadstool, right? She said that Trump and her were laying in bed watching Shark Week, and Hillary Clinton called and they talked about the plan. And this was on an interview in Jimmy Kimmel, and she says it just in passing. You know, we were talking a minute there, Hillary Clinton called and they talked about the plan, and then they go off and talk about his junk. Wait a minute. Hillary Clinton called and you talked about the plan? What's the plan?
What evil plan was that at the time? I mean, no.
Anything good, but there is a little something in there that I would like to know about, and it's not the president's junk. It's not that little tidbit of information. Probably told us a lot more than any sort of corporate media would admit. I think.
Well, look,
guys, we do have some Q watchers, by the way, and some are asking like, is Q a PSYOP or a censorship-free platform?
I think that Q is from what they're saying. What? I don't know. Go ahead. I don't want to.
Q is a troll. It started off as a troll.
Yeah, it was actually Microchip who started, not our Micro, but another guy named Microchip who started that whole stuff.
And it went too far. It went too far, and they killed the account. And then when they went to 8chan, somebody took it over. They don't know who's doing it now.
Now, we lost a few viewers with talking shit about Q, but yeah, he shouldn't be talking shit about us and claiming our stuff like as his own. Like it's not fair. Because we don't support it, and we don't support this politician.
But I will say this, right? Anytime somebody says follow the establishment without question, it's a fucking psyop.
Yeah, that's the giveaway right there. That's the big red flag, and you only need one.
When you got great intelligence when every single post and thread is a riddle.
Yeah, look, this is a construct that's built for simpletons and cretins of very low IQ who like to follow the little trails of birdseed. Okay, that's who this plays to. Which, by the way, is a large part of the population. Unfortunately. So wake the fuck up. That's all I can say.
That, the boogeyman, or there's like somebody out there that's gonna save them. The only person that's gonna save you is your fucking self.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, and that is. People need to empower themselves instead of becoming followers. Like, it's not going to help them at all.
That's kind of the point. Like, you should know whether you were a Trump supporter or not, you should be following Trump because you understand what's going on or you see his policies and agree with them. Not because Q or this person or somebody else told you to follow them. That doesn't make any sense. No leader should be asking you, not in this day and age. We aren't in the age of, kings and all of that shit, right? You shouldn't be asked to blindly follow somebody, and everyone's policies as far as leadership are pretty open. Now, I'm not saying, look, you support him, don't support him, follow Trump all anonymity. That's your own decision to make, but you shouldn't be getting that call, ignore the thing that I know is completely wrong that he just said because remember that there's a plan, or just follow the plan.
But why doesn't he explain what the plan is?
Yeah, I mean it's there isn't. It's not like you can look and say, okay, well, the plan is the New Deal. Or don't worry, that's what we're working towards. The plan is ultimate deregulation or any sort of whatever. It's just no matter what I do, don't question. Is what
right? Yeah. In other words, here was what instead of the plan, call it the con. Maybe that'll make it a little more clear what's going on. You're being conned because you're a chump.
Yeah.
So quit acting like a chump.
I think that's I agree, like 100%. Like it's right in front of you. Like quit getting pushed around. Like this is a lot of the people are claiming to be like tough guys, and you know what I mean. The thing, but yet you're playing along like a follower, like a chump, like a sheep. Don't ask questions. And I'd say like, look, for all it's some of the carryover. These are people that were watching a lot of times. Alex Jones and all of that. For the people that are Q, right? Look, you understand that Saudi Arabia is fucking corrupt as fuck. Whether it's Yemeni or not, the arms deal that Saudi Arabia and the games over oil are fucked up. You guys realize that from 9/11, right? You guys, there's you can name more instances that I can as far as like the followers that I know of Q, and you're telling me that's part of the plan, and you're cool with that? If the plan is sell Saudi Arabia more guns, right? That's not a good plan.
Yeah, if you're okay with the plans of an empire that wants to destroy everything for the elitist and in the empire, then go with the plan, because that's the plan. If you're okay with that.
Well,
I don't know that kind of thing.
there are some problems now with the Q thing. Like someone says that the Q posts are just like generalized guesses, but now it becomes like dangerous because now Q is actually starting to claim that the NSA are the good guys, which means like people like Edward Snowden and stuff are the bad guys.
Oh yeah,
you have to, okay.
You have to realize that Edward Snowden is still in Russia and he can't even leave Russia because he will be like killed in the United States if he gets there. So
I'm sorry.
The NSA is the same organization that sniffs all packets and telephone calls and stores it for their research. Whenever they
illegally, and unconstitutionally, throw that in there, please, because that's not.
I'm sorry, guys. I was completely wrong. Now that I know that Q is saying the NSA are the good guys, it's definitely not a psyop.
Yeah, we owe everybody an apology, Terrence, because we were just bad mouthing, and then we found out that piece of information that cleared everything up for us.
Yeah. Once I knew an upstanding organization like the NSA was involved, I mean that is really I would follow that without question. So just handle over any anonymity or civil rights that you may have now, and prepare to have your tattoo and scan installed, microchip installed. You should be good to go, brother. Nice work.
Yeah. Okay. Constitution is bad. Tyranny is good. Just keep.
We'll all start cutting off our dicks now and following the plan.
It's very trendy, yeah.
Oh, guys, come on, that's absurd. You got to have it shaped in a little bit of a Q. So not the whole dick, but just that little spot in the middle.
Well, and you notice they have to do that to you when you're an infant, when you can't say no or anything. Of course they do, because if you were older and somebody told you that shit, you'd be like, "Get away from my dick!"
Oh no!
What the hell? What's going on down there? What are you involved in it anyway? What the hell's going on?
Well, even then, like, I can't believe, like, honestly, dude, I'm cutting off of you whatever you try to cut off of my kid for fucking sure. Like, it's just a complete. It's one of those things. It's just complete absurdity. And then when you build that up, that people are making actual life and death decisions. Like, we're going to carpet bomb these people. Right, we're gonna to murder as many Palestinians as possible because the book told me to cut off the end of my dick. These are all part of the same story, and you're buying that shit. It's insanity to me. I mean, it's completely like that is one aspect. We're the same nation that calls ourselves a Christian nation and follows absolutely nothing of Christ. Like we don't even.
Nothing says love like killing people, right? I mean,
those are bombs of love. Those are freedom bombs.
They're love bombs. They're freedom bullets.
Freedom fries.
Yeah. You know,
Which aren't the people that make the freedom fries. Like they were pretty good. Like I didn't taste their fries before they were freedom fries, but they were good, man. I didn't feel any more or less free, but the fries were good. Who was? Yeah, there's been a couple. Yeah, that was. Yeah.
All right, look, we okay. Did we trash Islam enough? We trashed Christianity and Judaism pretty good. Did we destroy Islam enough?
Quit blowing each other up. You don't get virgins. I'm sorry. There was a misunderstanding. That is a stupid idea.
72 virgins, right? I mean,
what?
Is it actually written anywhere in the Quran?
That is the worst. There's all sorts of stuff written by crazy people in the desert in that area. People make up some weird shit out there. Like all of it, there seems to be a kernel of God in there. It's almost completely erased by the madness of men in every way, shape, or form. The fuck do you mean 70? What are you doing with 70? Who wants 70 virgins? I got time for that.
You better be.
Like, okay.
Well, if you're going to live forever, I mean, you might need 72. I mean,
I got to teach 72 virgins. I got to teach 72. No, come on. What? Can I get 70? Do I get a choice? Like when I go up to the gates, can I be like, hey, can I skip the 72 virgins and get 72 women that know what the fuck they're doing? I'm playing.
Yeah, that's what I want to say. Like instead of 72 virgins, just get like one experience one then.
Yeah, like, dude. I don't have that. I know it's forever, but I don't have that kind of time, that kind of want, or that kind of need. You know what I'm saying?
I would like to know, where does a story like that come from? That's what really gets me. It's like, I mean, it's used and it gets repeated so many times, and then people forget.
Some guy in the desert's like, dude, you're gonna like blow yourself up, and like God will give you 70 virgins. There you go.
72.
And well, if they buy it and do it, then you win, right? I mean, you got yourself a good slave there that'll kill himself over a story like that. Well, okay. I mean,
it doesn't mention those things at all is the problem. So look, it doesn't mention Bentleys and jets in the Bible for $1 It doesn't mention blowing yourself up. Jesus doesn't mention America not one fucking time. And if we were so important, you think it would have at least came across once, right? Israel and America will support each other. You don't even mention it, right? We're Israel's biggest supporter. The reason that they're able to do the things they are is because we give them guns and money. Right? But we're not even mentioned in the Bible. A Christian nation built on Christ Jesus himself. But yet, not even mentioned in the things that have been pursued and because of that, right, are horrendous in most cases. So no, it doesn't say any of that shit, but they'll straight up make it up.
Yeah, of course. They all use it for their own advantage. That's just how it is. Like,
you killed your brother, so I marked you so the people that live out there don't murder you. Oh, black people are our slaves. Where the fuck does it say that? But that's where they come. You know what I mean? Love thy neighbor, unless they're different than you, and then murder the fuck out of them, man. I mean, really murder the fuck out of them.
I think the basics behind these religions were not really that bad, like for humanity. Like they literally say like all humans are like equal and stuff. So, but
no, I imagine God sitting up there being like, God, these assholes just don't listen. I sent you back Jesus, said love thy neighbor. Y'all didn't listen. Sent you back Muhammad. He said, you know what? Quit murdering each other. Right? There's plenty of other ways we can work this out. Right? Murdering each other. Right? Buddha, murder. Jesus, murder. Right? But every time they come back and say the same thing, you guys should love each other. It works together better if you work together. People will disagree with you. You can be cool with that. And every single one of them. You don't need money. Rich people can't get into heaven. Right?
That's all. That's like literally what he all said, like this Jesus guy. And then how can they even spin it like this?
Oh,
like,
yeah. They have to come back and they're all like, oh, what happened when you sent back Muhammad? Oh, they locked him up for 30 years. Oh, that's cool. Jesus, they stapled his ass to a cross. Awesome. Right? Like, you have to think that eventually they're like, I keep on sending and these fucking monkeys do not get it.
Yeah, like, but that's what also bothers me with the Catholic Church. Like, why do they worship this cross with this guy on it and not the actual life of this guy?
Where in the Bible does it say that a guy that you need to give all of your money to one dude, right?
Hold on,
and
guys. Hold on, guys. I gotta take off Micro for a second.
Micro is just
I gotta
asleep.
kick him off. Hold on, let me see.
But not quite yet.
Wait.
Working on it.
Oh, I thought you were sleeping.
You should see. Do you know the amount of people? You guys, like some of my friends, they put us on, right, and like listen to us as they go to sleep, like where they're where they're.
Well, it's pretty bad when we're putting our own crew to sleep. I mean, what?
Oh.
I mean,
No,
Micro,
what is it?
Micro, you drank the nitro coffee, right?
Yeah, I was working on sleep, but I've already been through 4 cups of coffee. So that don't help when you've been running for 20 hours.
Well, you're in the cocaine zone now. I mean, you either got to do that or you got to go to sleep. I mean,
no, I think listen to our show and they're like, oh, I think there's still a little bit of help. These guys still get it. Like it's came down to we're like starting to get to the last like free voice on the internet. Like, and I don't say that in like an egotistical way. Like, look, we keep on looking around, and it's all like, okay, this guy's going, this guy's been corrupted, this guy's in prison, these guys are in prison, these guys have been bought, right? These guys they just censored or took down, and you start looking around, and we're starting to get to like, we're it, and that's like, people listen to our show and get that kind of as long as we're still on there, it's all good, right? There's people still out there that got our,
Well, we got to take Alex Jones' place. We got to fill in for that void now that he's gone.
They turned the fucking frogs gay. I got you, Alex.
Hey, you're gonna get censored, dude. You're gonna get us censored seriously. You can't say the frogs are gay.
Look, you can't. Yeah, but he's saying that it's a negative. I think it's a good thing the frogs are gay. Like, okay. Like when you used to walk before the croaks were all out of tune, you know what I mean? Now they've got a beat. There's like a dance club out there, right? I saw some. They brought from last week. They brought in a smoke machine, right? Business are good. They opened up some frog coffee shops, right? It's like stimulated the local economy. I'm all for it.
Rainbow frogs.
Rainbow frog. Like, have you been down to? When was the last time you heard that? It sounds good. These were top 10 hits.
Who let the frogs out?
Ribbit. Poor Alex Jones. I got you, man. I won't let the gay frog die. I just don't. I'm not sure if it's a negative thing. It's totally negative.
You know what he reminds me of now? You know the evangelicals where they start like singing and crying and begging for money for the church. That's what Alex reminds me of.
Look, this is what's absolutely insane about that whole thing, okay? And even like that thing with Alex Jones, we turned the freaking frogs gay and the whole homophobia thing and all that shit. You know what? Whatever. Like that is all good and well and bullshit. But they do put shit in the water that changes, like what he was mentioning, the chemicals that they put in the water that do change people's body chemistry. And these are things that they're dumping into your environment, right? That was true.
Oh yeah, it was turning the males into females and the males into hermaphrodites. Yeah.
Yeah, and there's a couple of things to take into mind. Number one, the chemicals that he's talking about are real, and it does affect the human anatomy as well. It might not be on a scale enough that we'll notice. Unfortunately, these are the same people that told us that we can raise the amount of radiation in your environment, and it's all good, right? So you can't really believe them. But like what he was referring to, that they have played nonstop with it's hilarious, man. He's a fucking clown. But what he's referring to is real, right? You're not putting shit in your water. The chemicals that we allow to leach into the water system do change your natural body chemistry. That's not safe, but. Yeah, I mean, it's Alex Jones.
Yeah, but turning the frogs gay is like the least of your worries, because I'm very worried that it actually causes cancer all around the country. But yeah.
Well, how about what it's doing to me?
Yeah. Oh, look.
Fuck the frogs.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, but it's
me,
It does actually cause cancer. I mean, if you look at like the fluoridation of the water system too, I mean, it's a very toxic stuff. I mean,
it's one of those things like, okay, if you're worried about them turning the fucking frogs gay, there are no frogs in southern Florida now, right? The red tide has killed all of them. Don't worry about them being gay. They're fucking dead. Right? Dress up like a dead frog. There are no gay frogs in Florida, man. They're dead. All of them. All of them. For hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of miles.
Yeah, but look also at what Monsanto is doing. Like, it's causing all the bees to die, for example. Like,
yeah, or just, you know what I mean? Who cares if it causes the fucking frogs to turn gay? The oil pipeline straight up leaking into the Gulf of Mexico just straight up kills all the wildlife. You can drink that water whether it turned you gay or not. It could turn you fucking flaming in one sip. But it doesn't matter because the oil in it will kill you first.
That seems to me like another experiment. You know, you just have this little stem of oil. It's like you just keep polluting it just to see what the result is. You know, I mean, if I was a psychopath, I would do that.
Or it's like they've got, you know, they're going to do this anyway, and we can just kind of paint it over, see what we get out of it. You know, poison these people's water to see how, you know, they react to a poison water supply. What if the terrorists did it, right? So instead of, like, ever preventing the terrorists from doing poison our own people, see how it affects them. We'll allow neurotoxins to leak into the water supply at Standing Rock and see how all of the water protectors are able to keep up a fight while being exposed to a low-level neurotoxin, right? That's not they did that on purpose. That happened.
Yeah. Because we all know that's what the good guys do.
Fuck, you feel like a good guy with that? Like, again, we're like, when you're doing that, like, you think at some point, even the like most hardened, I don't know, Puppet would have been like, I don't know, guys, poisoning the water sounds like a shit idea, right? You would think that somebody would, you know what I mean? Like, even the biggest pieces of shit would be like, hey, you know, maybe we shouldn't waste toxin in. It just sounds like a bad idea. I was thinking.
You're not really comfortable with that.
Yeah, like, I was fine, dude. I came up here to fucking, you know, kick some red people in the face and get out some frustrations and, you know, do some real hardcore police work. I don't know about poisoning people's water, man. They used to send them smallpox blankets. That's fucked up.
Yeah, and this is the stuff we know about, but like the worst is like the stuff we don't know. This is like the stuff that leaks, but there's also stuff we don't know about, and what the extent to that like, it's incredible that they are doing it to their own people. It's like shocking, right? It's we don't even know what they're doing. I mean, the little things that leak, and the corporations are doing this. Like Monsanto is doing this, and but there is also the concept of the stuff. That's just very hard to filter out of the water. That's also a big problem. Like there are certain things, if you like flush it down the toilet, it's very hard to filter it out. So yeah, the combination of things is like like there are some things that are very hard to filter. I've read a few articles about this.
But now I'm just starting to see some articles on it, but we all know you got more and more of these electric cars coming out. And then, because I'm catching inklings of like they want to keep like spraying aluminum or putting, I mean, not aluminum, but lithium. They want to put lithium in the water in some places. But well, yeah, it makes sense. It's like they got to get rid of all these excess batteries. When they go bad, they recycle them, and they got to put it somewhere, you know, or they got to reuse the lithium, you know. So you got it's like fluoride, you know. It's like, oh well, fuck, put it in the water, right? We can sell a recycle product, some toxins, and put it in your water and get paid for it.
Well, it's like, okay, not in 2018, and they put in this, we have to put fluoride in your water to keep the pipes clean and, you know, keep it. Do you though? Like, do you? You can't figure out any way otherwise to do this. Let me tell you, the reality is your water should have nothing but water in it.
No, true.
That's it.
Yeah, it's like a medicine or any other chemical. It's like, why is it there? You know, it's like,
they make different claims. Yeah. Keep the pipes clean, or they also sometimes they say no, it's like to fight tooth decay, and because people are not brushing their teeth enough. Like, what is like? What they have to decide this themselves. Just water is water. Just make it water.
And
Yeah.
there's a lot of people out there that aren't, but most of the people I know brush their teeth at least once or twice a day. Look, we're bombarded with fucking commercials. We're trained as little kids to fucking do it. Like, come on. Ridiculous. Most of tooth decay is caused from the immense amounts of sugar that we have.
Yeah.
That's what causes tooth decay.
And people have to know that large quantities of fluoride actually cause a tooth disease called fluorosis, and it actually kills your teeth. So.
But I'm not going why they, is it a big conspiracy? Look, man, figure me out. It's 2018. Figure me out a thing that you can make out of pipes. Look, all of the pipes have to be replaced. Make them with just don't have to store it anymore. But this stuff doesn't grow in. Design me a system in 2018. Jesus, the Romans could did a better job.
They did, yeah.
Then
well, look, that was I'm pretty sure that was a coup by Alcoa to get what was a waste product for them, and shit we had to send to spend extra to get it taken care of and buried deeply because it was so nasty, and they found a way to make money off of it by having cities put it in their water.
Oh yeah, and look,
it was a great coup, man. I mean, it was a total boo-foo for the citizen.
And they do that a lot. Like when it comes to, we've talked about Monsanto a couple of times, but it's like, look, we've got this horrible fucking neurotoxin. What do we do with it? And they'll find an industry that they can push it off as a side effects. It happens to kill fucking bugs. Jesus, it kills fucking everything. Right? It's Agent Orange. But yet, first it was okay, can we use it as a weapon? Well, it's so nasty shit, you can't use it as a weapon, right? So, can we use it as this? Can we use it as that? We've got another byproduct of Agent Orange that does this. And they take this same fucking horrible product and they'll try to use it. And no, they don't care if it's in your water. Most stuff is water soluble. That's what makes water so fucking amazing. That's what makes water give all of us life, is that so many interactions and chemicals can occur. Chemical interactions can occur inside of water. Like, that's what makes it amazing. You can't be pouring shit in there. And it's one of those things like, fuck, are you stupid? Like, literally, are you fucking stupid? What made you think that was, what the fuck would make you think that was a good idea? I heard it's to the water. You what? I drink water. What are you, fucking stupid?
Yeah, it only makes sense from a corporate angle, or somebody who's they're the only ones that come out ahead. Nobody else.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if are they really those kind of people that they will sink all of us for that little bit. When you think of people like Betsy DeVos, right? She's got 10 yachts. At least one of those yachts is parked off the coast of Florida, right? So look, even with all that money and with all of that, you still get to float your boat. You can't even breathe the air. There's no animals, no blue seas, right? Everything that money was supposed to make you enjoy is dead because of your decision.
Well, you're supposed to admire their yacht. Don't you understand what priority is there? I mean...
Yeah.
Did you not see the anonymous fucking mistake? We're fucking pirates, man. Fuck your yacht. The only thing that keeps me from pirating in that motherfucker right now is the law, which I respect. We are a country of laws. I respect that law 100%, but make no doubt, if I thought I could get away with sinking your fucking yacht, damn straight I would. I would sail that motherfucker to somewhere cool and give it away. Fuck you, I'd be on my way to Somalia right now in Betsy DeVos's fucking yacht.
Northern Somalia is actually pretty nice. It's the rest of Somalia is really horrible.
That's fine. I'm really getting rid of all of the gold and bullshit in here. I need to put in a fucking giant water filtration system and power system.
Didn't I think Northern Somalia declared itself as an independent country, but the UN doesn't identify it as a country.
Well, they're going to have to get actual taxes. The rest of the world cannot use their waterway as its free shipping area without paying it like you would any other shipping rich country, right? You use the Suez Canal. right? It's their waterway. It's within their waters. You don't get to treat them just because they're an emerging nation when it's the most lucrative fucking shipping route on the planet. Right? Like, after that, most of that situation is completely covered. So much money. All those Dutch ships that fucking run out and out. Every bit of fucking cargo that comes from fucking east to west comes through that area.
Well, actually, it was the U.S. Navy that stopped that whole pirate ring. Seriously, they literally.
They shut down the pirates.
Yeah, they shut them down.
Yeah, for now.
Yeah.
Don't worry. They're pirates. They'll be back. They'll come back. You know. And pirates aren't going anywhere.
Well, you know what they do is they just become fishermen. You know, then they're like, oh, we're not okay. We'll just fish now, and when shit gets bad, we'll just take ship hostages and shit. You know?
Yeah. Well, everybody act cool.
Yeah, that's how it is, of course. Yeah. Just wait till they leave again, and then let's start again. Yeah, that's we pirates. They can't drop like the pirate life. It's like the perfect life.
Yeah, and look, at the end of the day, they're taking taxes. Technically, you owe them that money. The least you owe them. It's unfortunate that you feel like fucking using that as your own free shipping way, but that's not how the world works. That's not real. So the fact that you get a little bit of taxes on the way, fuck them. Go pirates.
Yeah, what happened to all this maritime admiralty law? Well, except when it's inconvenient. And you want to get something for free, then we don't talk about that. You know?
Look, all of those laws only apply unless I want your shit. Right? If I want, let's be honest. If I want your shit, we're coming for it.
Yeah.
But no, like a lot of all of the strife that's between humanity on our planet is our fault, right? It's our responsibility. It's our failure for not uniting sooner and fixing it, for sure. We could do it anytime. There's 3,000 of them. Tell them to fuck off. You guys should go kill yourselves so I can have more money. No, fuck off.
Well, just look. I mean, everybody's bought off. See that? I mean, everybody loves the military-industrial complex, especially the people that are in the military-industrial complex. They're making a killing, man.
Yeah,
so.
Look, I love being in the military. I love my military. I just don't think that we should be used as enforcers for the for oil companies and corrupt government officials. Like, we're just going around the world murdering innocent people, and the people that we're not murdering, we're training other people to do the same or selling their weapons to do it themselves.
Yeah,
that's just not what I want to see our military be.
But it's good business, and I mean, you don't see anybody really rocking the boat there. I mean, they can just, Merck's just lining up. You know, they'll do it.
Crazy. It honestly is. They've got a nonstop stream, and I mean, even what's going on, there has to be a point where you say, okay, guys, we're not doing this. Right? It's just, I don't know when that point comes. There has to be a total change in the way we view our culture and how we respect the authority in our government. Look, I can pretty much make the decision myself on whether someone's trying to kill me or not. Why has it got to be secret? Look, if you know, right, that there's all these bad people, tell me who they are right now. Show me who they are. I'm sure, people will overwhelmingly find me.
Kim Jong.
He's doing it.
Yeah, they're bad guys. Yeah.
Yeah, fuck him. All right, look. Quit pointing nasty fucking weapons at him and see how he acts. Just give it a go. Right? You're telling me, look, we can destroy Kim Jong-un at any moment. Let's not
He's a kid in the playground that you always you make fun of, and he'll say that he'll kill you, but he never does. You know,
yeah, he's irrelevant. I mean, he's part of the stage and everything, but it's like, come on, we're gonna focus on this guy, who really doesn't have that much. I mean,
it's not even. It's just okay, look, we're not going to destroy the world because you are angry at somebody else. We're not threatening to wipe North Korea off the face of the earth. We're saying, hey, if North Korea ever does anything, we will fucking kill everyone.
Well, that's John Bolton and the neocons, and you know,
crazy. Look, if North Korea even attempt to lob a nuke at U.S. soil, the world would not say shit to us flattening them. They ain't gonna say shit, and that's not even like our. I mean, come on, look. Saddam Hussein, both me and the Marine that's sitting here with me, right? Both served during Iraq and Afghanistan.
Yeah, but
right?
he didn't have those weapons of mass destruction, did he?
Saddam Hussein had one of the most powerful militaries that money could buy, much more powerful than Kim Jong-un has, right? And he lasted seconds. We dropped his Air Force military and, you know what I mean, air defenses completely faster than the aliens in Independence Day.
Yeah, no, it's true. It's true.
So to say that that's some sort of threat is ridiculous. It's a game, and how we look at this, if anybody mouths off to the U.S., we'll destroy the world. What are you, fucking nuts?
Well, but when you live in a country full of hillbillies and low IQs and all the rest of it, this is what they go for. They love that kind of talk. They love killing people.
Yeah, but
they'll go along with it. They like the plan. You know, it makes them feel good.
Then expect it from your leaders. Now, I'm not saying we can. Oh my goodness, I'm a whole can of worms here with the historians. Look, Lincoln had all kinds of flaws. We're not going to go down that road, right? But Lincoln had, right, in the on the Senate floor, right, banned from the Senate, right, from taking it. People on that that follow that kind of strength would follow you to anything. What are they going to do when people are like, when Mitch McConnell says something stupid about the fucking country that they want to invade, and someone comes out of the booth, right, when they're all like, no, America doesn't need health care, and you're like, what the fuck did you just say? No, what the fuck did you just say? Right, that would get fucking votes overwhelmingly. When you're all like, nah, say it again, I fucking dare you. I double dare you. Say health care again. I swear to God, I will fucking mouth. Right? Like they would vote for that person overwhelmingly, right? And support that fight for something that you believe in, but all of these leaders believe in. He ain't going to whoop fucking Kim Jong-un's ass. No, fuck it. We won't end the world. Let's take this outside. Fuck this. Let's take this outside. You want to go?
That'd be actually great. Remember, I said that a couple of shows that that's how wars with countries should be fought. You just have two of your leaders go at it with like in a tournament, with like swords and shit, and whoever lives, they win the war.
Yeah, and it depends. Look, I'll name your weapon, motherfucker. Right? You can play chess, checkers, right? Hopscotch, double Dutch, motherfucker. It doesn't matter to me.
Yeah,
we can play Pong right now. Let's go.
Oh no. But as psychopaths, they like to trick you into doing that for them.
Oh, fight their war because they're angry? Yeah.
Yeah. You're not going to get your hands dirty and do it yourself.
Yeah, you can torture people, and with the right personality, you can sell it. Look, closing Guantanamo's hard, right? It's not simple. Just close the door.
Yeah. We'll go back to the old Stanford experiment. What is it? 3/4 of people, will eventually, turn on somebody and give them lethal doses. They like it. It plays to the personality. It's easy.
Yeah, you can make anything. Drone strikes. You can make anything look good. With the right personality, you can make anything look good. Obama was my favorite. You guys ever went to like an Obama rally? It always felt like he was.
No,
I never did. No.
Oh, like I worked for the campaign there for a little bit. It was great. Like anytime, even I think he just called out names when he came through. How you doing? Jim, Eric, how you doing, brother? And no matter what, it always seemed like he was. It was just his personality. It always seemed America, right? He's talking just of the whole country at once, and it seemed like he was talking just to you. Right, it was just the way that it's like part of the game that they use is charisma. They can get you to do anything with the right charisma. right? With the right person in charge. Like I said, Bush, all of them, they all had that same thing. But I think, Obama was top enough that you would say, like, he campaigned on closing Guantanamo, where they torture people, right? First thing, they won. I'll close it, right? Mark my words, I'll close it, right? And then as soon as he got in there, he had all sorts of excuses. It's difficult. Terrorism. Stand up for America. How you going? How you doing, Joe? How you doing? It always seemed like you were just talking to him at the basketball court, or like just got done. It was a good game. We're gonna move about 1,000 people to Syria.
Hey, he gave everybody a phone. He's gonna do more.
Oh yeah, he gave everybody a phone. He gave everybody a free phone, and then it turned out I accidentally had a secret NSA spying program. Those two things were not connected anyway.
Oh yeah, who's that? That was the Mexican billionaire too. It was Carlos Slim. Yeah, he made a fortune off of that deal. There's always got to be some guys, some fascist guys, some elite making a shit ton of money off of some deal. It's like
it was that was absolutely hilarious because he totally knew about it. Like you may have even set that shit up. I'm pretty sure he got that from watching the Batman movie. Like give everybody a cell phone and didn't Batman do that? I'm pretty sure he got that from the Batman movie, but I like the way that they tried to completely, I don't know, the secret. So, that secret NSA said, yeah, I did that. It shut down.
And do I really need to go and get a Mexican billionaire to do this for me?
Yeah,
who, by the way, is actually Lebanese if you chase him down.
Yeah,
that's what's
like, okay, I understand the evil, but you couldn't have gotten an American company. There wasn't we didn't have any. You had to even export our billionaires. Come on, dude. Like you could have set up all right, look, man, you could have. Do I need to break it down? So you set up a shell company, right? Romney will be able to sort you out here, right? Just for manufacturing for a couple of years. Most of the jobs are temps. So you don't have to pay them a minimum wage or healthcare or really adhere to OSHA standards since you're going to close it before the 5-6 year rating period and review that you need. No stress, brother. They kick out as many fucking piece of shit phones as humanly possible. You won't need to recycle them or deal with them. And most of them will probably use metals that cause cancer. But just kick those motherfuckers out, right? And you can make a mint. Hide the money offshore. If you're not big into offshore, Bernie Sanders will hook you up in Vermont. Pretty much rules on money laundering. It's a smorgasbord of illegal cash. Drug money, fucking laundered money, mob money, we don't give a fuck, right? Send it there. You're sorted. Bada bing, bada boom. After the NSA sorting thing, you've pretty much heard all you need to hear. Most Americans think the U.S. government fucking sucks. You can admit to it, turn that fucker off, and move on, right? High fives, up top. No?
Yeah, we is like the five guys. We made money, the rest of you fools, paid for it all.
Hey, so but you got a free cell phone. What the fuck?
Yeah, and then I can.
Everybody needs a phone at some point so they can call. That's part of it. All right.
See that? This is what kills. It's like.
You give me that government tracking phone. The one that's free. I want that. I want that one.
I want the free slave tracker. I don't want the one I have to pay for.
Confirmation that a NSA spying program even exists.
Oh, remember when they were telling everybody to download the FEMA app for emergencies?
Yeah.
And I was just like, this doesn't sound like a great idea because it needs GPS enabled to function.
No, it was one of. Well, then how will FEMA know where you are? And you're just kind of like,
I don't care.
Thanks.
Yeah, we need a little closer GPS signal just in case we decide. Well, I mean, it's FEMA now. If we decide to drone bomb you or come pick you up for the internment camp, we need to know where the fuck you are.
Yeah, I'm good. Thanks.
So why doesn't FEMA just use the Facebook app then?
What, FEMA don't know where I fucking live?
You know, there are so many hidden features on the Facebook app. I wouldn't be surprised if it was something like that was actually in there.
So it's a Facebook app. They just call it the FEMA app now.
I don't know. I've never dissected.
Changed the logos a little bit.
Yeah.
Look, okay, right now I can tell you, and I'm not leaking anything. This is just how this shit works. So the FEMA Act app has a huge security flaw in it. I don't know what it is. I haven't looked at the code, but it's there. They all do. So after a whole shitload of information gets leaked, and however they use to track it or misuse the tracking device in it, they are going to magically discover this leak hole, whatever they want to fucking call it, hack, right? That leaked all of your information, and they are super sorry about it. I'm just gonna preempt that whole fucking line of thought, because that's what they do every single time. When FEMA quits buying bullets, I'll download their app. Fair enough. It's the same with the detention center thing, right? Like all the people that had to check off on that for that to get funded.
They put you in a football stadium and guard you with M16s, right?
That sounds legit.
Well, while a hurricane's happening.
Yeah, while 50,000 people try to use like 4 toilets in the whole stadium. Yeah, that's a great idea, man.
That's because you bought 1 billion rounds of fucking 5.56 ammo and forgot to put in fucking toilets.
But you need guns, right?
Why? No guns. It's like they've only got one bail to prison, right? They've only got one way.
They made the FEMA floating barges that were like.
They're still using those. Well, no, it's the DEA. They're holding people offshore.
Yes. Yep. That sounds like something the DEA would do. So you can't torture people on U.S. soil because that's immoral. But if you just go a little bit off the shore, man, go nuts.
I gotcha.
Yeah. So Cuba is a horrible communist, repressive government, right? So the best way to prove that is to have our secret torture prison there. No, wait a minute.
Chicago. You know, just have one. You know, abandoned building like they did last time.
Yeah, that'll show them those dirty communists, because they have their secret torture prison. What the fuck? That doesn't make any sense. Oh, it's okay. They're offshore. That's totally cool.
Well, no, come on. I mean, it's for freedom and democracy.
Chicago's for us, a different country anyway.
Yeah.
Well, it's like, okay, wait a minute. They're having this fucking argument on whether they should or shouldn't talk to Taliban leadership in Afghanistan, because basically the whole country is Taliban. They're just finding this out. Either way.
Oh, and the tribes basically run everything.
They've always had.
Yeah, they always have. Yeah.
Where have you been? Alexander learned this. The Russian learned this. Jesus Christ, pick up a history book. Regardless, right? Since the country is ran by Taliban, they're having a conversation they're saying, hey, we'll just set up a meeting and negotiate directly with the Taliban. Wait a minute. If you have the Taliban cell phone number, who are you torturing in the secret offshore facility? Obviously not Taliban and ISIS leadership. You're calling and have meetings with them.
Mm-hmm. That's a good point.
Well, it's all the poppy farmers who won't go along with the plan. They're the ones in the prison.
Oh, I'm sure. Nobody. You for some reason you never look back on these secret torture facilities and are like, you know what? I'm really glad they had that psycho there.
You're like, wait, who's there?
Yeah. People seem to be guilty. It's like Guantanamo. When everybody thought that you had horrible, deranged, psychotic, man-eating fucking terrorists there, they were all for it. It turned up you just rounded guys up with vans and tortured the fuck out of them in your secret facility for 10 years. That's it. Yeah. And then when they're with them, they just straight up drop them back off on the street. Bam! Sorry, guys.
Sorry, you really weren't.
Big misunderstanding. You weren't one of the bad guys. Our bad.
Remember for that 10 years where you were torturing me and I said, I swear to God, Allah Almighty, that I'm not a terrorist, and you continued to torture the fuck out of me? Yeah, fuck you, man.
Well, here's the other thing. I have no idea why people keep like wanting to trust the government and they want it in their lives, because everything they get into, it turns bad and it only gets worse. It's like it never gets better. And then you have this mission creep on everything they do after they try to destroy the laws, so yeah, what makes you think that you won't be that guy next week?
Yeah.
Like that's how
that never seems to pop into your head. Like, oh yeah, this is a good idea, except that you're going to be the guy next week. It's like the fuck.
Whoops.
Every person's voice that they try to silence, whether you like them or not, eventually, if you let that happen, they'll come to you. That's all of them. And that goes with all of those things. If you let them poison one person's water, right, they'll poison all our water, right? Let them.
Well, yeah. Well, they're short one guy because remember they just killed the other guy they were beating up on, and now they're looking around for the next victim, and there you are standing. So guess what? Yeah. that's you, man. It's like. I don't know, man. It surprises me.
That's where you got it. That's where we got to call in. That's where we got to call in our favor and be like, "Yo, Jim, you've been watching the show for a long time. Be cool, man."
Right? Yeah, sure. I mean, yeah, we bashed the government and FBI and all you guys for 5 years or however long it's been, and.
But to be honest,
we're sorry for that,
You are trying to kill me, so I mean, I was right.
Yeah, we were just trying to make you a better agency, but you're so corrupt it was impossible. And
yeah, it's like how dare you talk about us secretly recording you? Well, I mean, how do you know that we're talking about you? Because we're secretly recording you. Well, I mean, you can't be mad at me then. Like, if you're actually doing what we're talking about, you can't be mad at us. That's not fair. That's not.
Well, yeah. You notice how they are though. They can be all up in your business, and that's no problem. But the moment you try to turn around and film them or have any accountability on government, there's a problem. Because that's not what we're talking about.
Yeah, remember they want camera on everything. Your TV needed a camera on it. The ATM's got a camera on it. They need a camera on every fucking light post. A camera fucking everywhere. Until you're all like, oh, hey, can we put some cameras on the cops? And they're all like, oh, no, come on. That is a lie. Are you fucking serious? Right? Yeah. Immediately.
Yeah. Cameras in the courtroom? Oh, hell no.
Oh, you can't watch us. You can't watch us serve justice. What do you mean? You should be proud of everything that you do in the courtroom. Right? That every you put on that gown, you should be exemplifying justice and the Constitution in every way, right? You should want that. Why wouldn't you want cameras in the courtroom, cameras in the board meetings, right? The city council meetings, on the police, right? And it seems like the police are safe, yours are safe. That'd be a good deal. No, you want a camera absolutely everywhere, but on the people that are fucking up.
Yeah. Yeah, it's all about the Constitution until it's about using it on them, Then the Constitution doesn't apply. All of a sudden, they're all about the First Amendment until you want cameras in the courtroom. It's like, how does that work?
Or cameras on cops when they.
Yeah.
Or just recording officials, if you're working in the public eye. And I'm not talking, you're in some suit, because that's what they'll use. Oh, well, our committees are secret. This is national security shit. Look, man, you sit on the city fucking council, right? You're causing the taxes, all of the things that we want to know about, the meetings with you and corporations in the area, right? We should be able to see all of those, right? None of that should be behind closed doors. But yet they try to keep it that way, and they'll use it as, this was this is national security. Government doesn't need to be set behind closed doors. If you're representing, I want to hear what you're saying, because I have a sneaking suspicion you're not representing me.
Yeah.
We don't have that's the thing, right? You're not representing me. We don't have enough Democrats now to stop us sending weapons to Yemen. Are you serious? You telling me that's true? We don't have enough in power now. In all of the Senate races and all of these, look at how few people are talking about it. No, I'm not signing another bit of fucking gun to rip up the contract. Right? They have the power. We should not be at war, proxy or not, with anybody. Our Congress has not voted to be at war.
That's right. But they're okay with it. See, there's no difference to me between the parties anymore. I really don't see much of a difference anymore. And there used to be a difference. You know, there used to be those Democrats, like you're saying, who would be anti-war and being out there causing shit all the time, just because that's who they were. Even if they were the only ones doing it, they were okay with that. But now it's just like they're all on the same team, man.
Well, even how you listen to them, they're all like, you know, they'll all tote, you know, what they were doing in the 60s, right? You see all of these, you know.
Oh fuck yeah,
all of them post what they were doing in the 60s, a black and white photo of this and that, and they went from no more wars in the 60s, right? No wars in the 60s, and the Vietnam and all of that to a little bit of war. Oh, the war on terrorism, right? Enough war. One judge, right? Like the complete opposite of what they're touting in any way, shape.
You know what? Every war the USA is involved in is moving more money from the general public and the taxpayer into the hands of the corporations, into the hands of the companies that make the munition and the rockets.
Yeah, Halliburton, Northrop Grumman, Colt. Yeah.
Because you're using taxpayer money to fund this military budget, and they are literally buying the missiles from these companies. Like, and these companies get richer and richer every war. They get bigger.
Just Iraq and Afghanistan, right? That there was a recent report that just came out. $6 trillion so far we've sank into fuck. Man, I mean,
trillion.
We could change the world with $6 trillion.
You could build a friggin' starship and actually be doing something with that kind of money.
$6 trillion.
You know,
the kind of money when you're like $6 trillion is the kind of money where you could build the computer systems to cure cancer for good. Where you could just, you know what I mean, run through DNA analysis, doesn't fucking matter. You would be able to build a system with enough computing power to do those kind of things. Right? That kind of money is enough to change the motion of the world. And in some respects, it has. Right? But $6 trillion is, I mean, $6 trillion is the difference between what we have now and pretty much unlimited free energy across America.
Yeah, you can actually give free energy to the entire world with that amount. And maybe even free food. I mean, yeah.
Sure. Free medical, everything. For that price? Man, yeah, they can give it all to you.
Yeah.
And we'll get nothing. And then it's supposed to cost us $1 trillion a year on top of $1 trillion in interest that we pay for a lot of this stuff. We contracted out on credit. So, you know, we paid, I mean, insane amount of monies, but we're like, okay, but we won't pay for it right away, you know, over a 10-year period. So that amount isn't actually tallied for that year. So where it would actually cost you, you know, $9 trillion, you can say it's only 6 because that $9 trillion is over a 10-year period, and that up to that 6 is only what we've gotten so far. Well, they were waiting for the tax credits, the tax from this administration to go through. So if you know that you're going to put people through, whether it was Hillary Clinton or Trump, that are going to lower the tax rate so that you pay absolutely nothing, you don't want those payments up front right now. You want them to be up front in, you know, 2 or 3 years for tax rates change. Bada bing. Yeah.
And these people are still. These people will be still pushing all their money into the economy, like with buying stuff. So you won't lose anything from it.
Oh yeah, there's what those you get. You know, they'll get 10 yachts while we got 1,000 homeless veterans in America. Awesome. Those two things aren't related.
Well, it's good for all the Russian oligarchs who are selling weapons. They get more yachts. It's good for all our dark ops people. They get more ops, more yachts. You know, Halliburton, all these execs. You know, it's great for the yacht industry. You know, come on, man. You know,
yacht, way to go. Jesus. Yeah, at a certain point, like, but it is. I guess that's what we're doing now. Like, it's not enough to be woke. Right, it's not enough to see what's going on. Like, even if all of us combined don't have a complete understanding, you're pretty close. Like the panel on here, right? The hosts on here are pretty close to having about as good a grasp on the world around you as you're going to get. especially in corruption and government and all that shit. But it comes to a point that we have to wake those around us, right? We have to. Part of it is getting out. There's people that are listening to this live stream and have never heard this before, right? From MK Ultra onward, that it's their first time hearing it. And we have to take that into consideration. They've spent, thousands of years beating the people down, keeping their heads down, building the conformist system that we have. There's so few voices that are speaking out about it, right? It's just getting to that where people have to wake those around them. Like we have to. And this is totally part of it. Like I said, none of us, we could go and talk about several of these issues forever, in depth. But the point is that they've worked really hard to keep people as closed-minded as possible, as divided, not looking at it or seeing it or even understanding it. It's so important to be able to change that, to inform people.
Yeah, and they keep the people insecure about their survival too, like that they will always hope for a government to help them with their stuff, and that is why there's no free energy and free food. It keeps people in control. It controls people because it will always look for help from above, and
keep the people scared, ignorant, right, religious, and that's always been the thing. Like, it's not just, look, if you don't give us all of your money, right, if you don't give us all of X, your kids will all die, right? If you don't give the king all of your stuff, right, the kingdom will fail, right? If you don't give if you don't give the bankers all of the money, right, it'll, you won't starve, the system won't work anymore. I mean, capitalism, guys, capitalism, right? If you don't give the top, it won't trickle down. And they sell this same story over and over and over and over again, and people buy it for some reason.
Yeah, that trickle down, that always got me, because that was the Republican thing. It's like trickle down economics. It's like, well, can't we just have a fair free market system, free enterprise? This is trickle down shit. Why does it have to go up to the rich guy first, and then he might let me be his yard guy for, pay me a little bit there as his yard guy. I mean, is that the trickle down? Is that all I get? What the hell?
I think they were probably peeing off of the side of one of their marble houses onto one of their servants, and they were thought, oh, eureka, we'll call it trickle down economics. Like this, I've turned this wine, which is what, $5-6 a bottle, and I've turned it into urine. That's pretty expensive urine. And they figured, I'm going to call it trickle down. It trickles down down by the people. Yeah, I think that's about how they would just think of themselves, right? But
yeah, it's just it's so asinine and so childish. It's just like trickle down. It's like bird seed. It's just more of that bird seed technology. It's like, what?
Because "fuck you, pay me" already was taken by the rappers.
Just quit screwing me over and lower my taxes. That'd be better for me.
Well, you know what? It's like you people are never fucking happy. When you were chained to the machines, you complained about that. You unchained you from the machines. That wasn't enough, right? Now you want a working wage or women to work. Fuck, you want clean water and the right to take a piss during a fucking lunch break. It's just, you just never enough for you people, is it? Now, next thing you're going to tell me you want clean air and water and a house. What do you think, this is some sort of American fucking dream? You get whatever you want. It's just never enough with you people.
Yeah, but how they sell it to these few kind of socialist thinkers at the top. There are a few, and they sell it by saying if we enrich the billionaires with a few extra billions, this gives a lot more tax money to us than when we enrich these millions of people with a few thousand, right? If you have 1 billionaire who makes an additional billion a month, that's the same as 1 million people making $1,000 extra a month in tax.
Good. Okay. Yeah, that sounds like a plan. Let's do that. He's already got a billion.
Yeah. But they say if we empower these billionaires, then it will be better for the rest too. And that's a weird way of thinking, but yeah.
Of course, giving more money to rich people has always made the poor richer, obviously.
But that's
well, if you're the guy that owns the media company and he can tell you that shit and you believe it, he wins. I mean, if you're that dumb and believe that crap,
I mean, come on. When has giving, like, honestly, guys, come on, step back and look at this. When has giving some rich guy ever made the people at the bottom more money? Whether you're the fucking Pope, the King, or the one, when has given that guy any extra money made you richer?
Yeah, but he will just like make the media lie that it actually did happen. Like they will just repeat it as many times as possible, so you're completely hypnotized into believing it actually always happens.
Yeah, I want to find that guy. I want to know. Let me see the guy. The trickle down guy. The guy that it trickled on. I want to meet him.
Yeah. Well, he's the PR genius that came up with that at the advertising agency. It's just like, hey, let's call it this.
Oh,
Here's what you rich guys are actually doing, but let's call it this.
Oh, yeah.
And let's see if these chumps on this planet will buy it.
Oh, it's the Patriot Act. You're a patriot, aren't you? You're not a patriot?
Yeah, I mean, you're not for the Patriot Act? I mean, you know.
Yeah, I mean,
the anti-Fourth Amendment, First, Ninth, and 10th, that amendment. Oh, that's patriotic. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, they play these word games with you. I mean, it's just, and because there's no critical thinking, nobody questions any of this. They just go, oh, okay. It's like, that's the extent of, the length of time you used your brain to like think about what these assholes just told you, and you're buying it.
Think of all the people that now are asking, okay, so your average American didn't really understand the Patriot Act, right? Okay, fair enough. Think of all of the Democrats that were sitting in the Senate and the House at that moment. They understood it, right? They could have spoken up and said something. Hey, how about the largest? I mean, like, look at it and be like, this is fucking insanity, right? This is the largest giveaway of American rights in human history. Are you out of your mind? They should have been screaming that from the floor. Sit-ins, right? All of the tools that you have, filibuster.
Well, I mean, the whole idea. Wait a minute. Because there's terrorists, you have to take my rights away? How are those two things even connected together?
Yeah. We have to listen to everybody's phone calls to find out that we're the terrorists are doing. Look, man, the terrorists, it's absurd. It's absurd. And it's one of those things, like, if you were probably listening to everybody's calls, chances are the 4 people that didn't say something nasty about the CIA are terrorists. Right? If you've got 4 people talking to each other that are like, oh, yeah, America's great, I love it. The president, fuck, they are terrorists. They should be on the list. They're doing something bad. That is code.
Yeah, of course.
Right?
Especially like in this
story.
Yeah. In the current condition of the country, yeah, you have to believe that these are the guys you're looking for.
The bad people, they are doing something bad, right? There's no other. It was one of those things. They spent millions of dollars to surveil Standing Rock to find out what we were doing. Fuck, man, we had it written on giant banners on the side. I don't understand what they were spending all that money on. They could have asked us. Oh, we're shutting down the DAPL pipeline. We're all protesters. Protesting it here. Where the fuck have you been? But they sent all these infiltrators to find out what are the water protectors doing.
And what was so secret about it? Hey, it's the American Indian movement. They hate the government. They don't like you. It's no secret.
You invaded my country and took all my shit and then tried to murder all my what are you pissed about?
But yeah. They don't get it. See, they don't realize that it's like, hey, what's this all about? What are these guys so upset about?
A couple of the elder women that they had on the terrorist watch list, and they were like, well, and we don't understand where they got turned because you stole them from their children and tortured them in a fucking school. Holy shit! Why would they have turned into anything else? But yet they seriously spent millions and millions and millions of dollars. Oh, yeah, you remember when you stole those people's children? They totally held a grudge about that. Yeah, people totally don't dig that. Surprise!
It's like, wow. Oh, you guys, you really hold a grudge like that? Yeah.
Yeah, everybody does. Everybody does.
It's just...
We only stole your kids and your land. What are you so pissed about? Damn, guys. It's just a pipeline. Oh, was the pipeline... Fuck, was the pipeline through your grandfather's grave too much? Is that what you're telling me? Is that what's pissing you off?
I got it.
That is ridiculous.
These people are so disconnected with their people. Like they're so disconnected. Like the pipeline protesters were like desperate to get their message out, and like you say, they use like infiltrators to find out what they're doing. Like they're so disconnected. Like
reservations, it wasn't even like they made it out to be like a, you know, these are ancient graves, right? And that's not true. In 2 of the reservations, this isn't like some, it's like, no, like you can't dig my grandpa up. He died last week, right? This isn't some ancient fucking grave, right? This is his house.
Yeah.
Like, it was that, I mean, it is that crazy in some cases.
Yeah, it's just it all stems from the attitude of them. You know, it's not, and you see more and more. It's not just that they don't like natives or they don't like, you know, Mexicans or black people. That they really and truly they don't give a shit about anybody. If you get in the way of the plan, and speaking of the plan, you know, the plan is, you know, it's their plan to make money and make you a slave. That's the plan.
Yeah, I think in most cases it's the same thing, right? So control the media, right? Take money off the poor, prisons, and the drug war. I mean, this isn't support corporations. This isn't really rocket science. Same thing that they've always kind of you know, water is one of the last. They realized that it was a huge resource. They want to control it. You know, holding back solar power and battery power and energy and all of that crap. They want to control it. They know that's happening. That, you know, with freedom of information, it went from, you know, you being fed news sources through the TV and kind of the illusion of diversity inside of news to internet, you know, to information being free on, and now they have to try to control the internet. It's the same game over and over again.
Yeah, just, you know, once you understand the game, then things become clear. You don't ever that hope that your mind wants to have, or that better, you know, feeling or aspect, you can just kiss that goodbye, because once you see the pattern and they hit you with it over and over again, you'll know that you'll know what to do. You're not going to believe, and you shouldn't believe what they're saying, because 95% of the time they're lying to you. You know, why would you believe known liars?
Yeah, that's the kind of thing, and they do come out and say the kind of the same things every once in a while, and nobody's all like, well, there's unknown terrorists that you're going to need to spend $1 trillion to beat. Well, let me see them, because like the last 30 times that you said that, you just stole a bunch of money. You just did it. I want to see some proof this time, right? Nobody ever says it. They just buy it, hook, line, and sinker. Unknown Middle Easterners coming in the asylum seekers right now. Down the military. It's cost us like $200 million so far. Yeah, I'm not going to give you $200 million for unknown unknowns. There are known knowns and there are unknown knowns, right? There are unknown unknowns. This is a known known. I ain't giving you.
Yeah, when the only true known is that you guys are liars.
Yeah, like
that's the known.
You guys need to go to war. All right, what's your angle, motherfucker? Yeah, dude, can I just give the money to Halliburton? Is that the deal? You hold me fucking hostage? Like, give the money to Halliburton or we will kill more innocent Iraqis. Fine. Fuck. Just quit murdering people. Like, whatever they're gonna, like, whatever they're making with Saudi Arabia, the money, because we're not like selling it to the Saudi Arabians. We've got like a weird thing where we're reimbursing ourselves and we make heaps of money off of it. Just take the money. Just calm down. Like, it's one of those things where they're the colonizer, like holding your child stuck a knife to their throat. Like, seriously, what will it cost for us? How much oil do we have to buy from Saudi Arabia to get you guys to quit murdering people in Yemen? We'll buy it. Just fucking tell us. Give us the number. How many barrels? I'll raise the fucking GoFundMe right now. We'll load it out on trucks. How much you want? I'll take all of it. All of it. Give me all the oil.
Well, but they're all on board. See, they were all doing the sword dance over there. You had the the English go over there, do the sword dance, and Trump goes over there. They're all dancing around doing the sword dance. So they're all going to war. That's what they're telling you. And then they go to war, and everybody's like, "Oh my God!" Like it's some big surprise. It's like, well, you didn't see that one coming.
Dance, your glowy ball of domination thing, right? Like, what do you guys? Dude, I will strangle a fucking journalist right now if y'all quit fucking murdering people in Yemen. Who do you got?
Yeah, I don't understand what they see in Yemen. There's like nothing there. It doesn't have any like as far as I know, and I'm not sure if it's rich in resources.
They dared to stand up against somebody that sells us oil, right? We'll sell you anything. Anything. What do you need? I bet you it's machine guns. Bombers? You want bombers? You don't even have to buy them yourselves, right? Just tell them what you need bombed, and it's no sweat off all our balls. It doesn't count U.S. Bombing if somebody else orders it. So go nuts. You have full reign of our military as long as you're selling us oil. Full reign, right? Secret, not secret. Just tell us what you need. Carpet bombed, and we'll do it for you. No problem.
Well, there's this idea that our military has to be there. Well, it's almost like they stopped selling us oil, but they never did. See, there's really no need for them to be there because the oil was never threatened. They never stopped selling it to you, and yet all of a sudden your military has to be there to control the oil and make sure it keeps flowing. It was flowing before.
Well, they need to see can be pushed how far you can get that number up, right? We're almost at $3 a gallon now. Have you seen the shit that the fucking Saudis are building? Like all over the world, right? They can't spend enough. They need $4 a gallon. 5, 6, 7. They're gonna get all of it until that's it, man. That's all of it. That's how the oil thing works. That last drop of oil will be the most expensive and most worthless oil on the planet.
And if I was a Saudi, I would, long-term thinking, I would have to believe it's like, what is America going to do to us once all the oil is gone and we don't need you?
That's what they are doing right now. That's why the new prince is arresting all the other ones and taking their money because he knows that they're going to run out of oil. They're building like solar generate, or like solar farms, and they're building technology infrastructure. They know what time it is. They know that their time's almost is coming up.
Yeah. So they definitely see it. But no, if that's the deal, I mean, look, there is all sorts of money in the. What it cost us for you to stop bombing Yemen? Like, I really want to know. Like, legitimately, how much is that? Like, whatever's causing you to do it, how much is that, and how much can we get you to quit doing that? I'm sure we could come up with it. We could pay it. If it's just a straight up hostage thing, because that's really how I feel. Like that faction of the world seems to have, that faction of our government seems to have us at this like.
And when I saw how many different players were fighting in Yemen. And then I saw like the Taliban and ISIS were there too. I was like, how many fucking factions are fighting in Yemen?
Well, everybody's got their boys in the. I mean, it's like Syria as well. It's like everybody, right, is just so apt to fucking bomb the place. Doesn't matter whether you're France, all the peace-loving, whatever. Everybody is bombing innocent people. Like, all of the instability that's there right now stems from our involvement in the Iraq and Afghanistan war. And in the millions of people that it's killed on top of it, and it's just raw money, and we won't stop. Like it's every year it's more. We have to pay them. Why do we need more money? So that we can continue to do this? No, you can't have $1 trillion next year because look what the fuck you're doing. If it's all like, oh, we need $1 trillion, like that's the story. We need $1 trillion next year to continue fighting in Iraq and Afghanistan. Okay, well, bummer, you can't do that anymore. Whew, that sucks. At a certain point, it's all like, sorry, man, we're tapped out. I'm not paying for that anymore.
It doesn't even make military sense. Long-term wars are bad for both sides. They're bad for economies.
Yeah, but they exist outside of that system in all reality. Whether you're, whether it's World War I, whether it's World War II, whether it's like the people that make money off that shit. They don't care. Empires fall and rise to them. That's the deal. We'll be so like hell bent on keeping our nation. They don't care about that.
Well, how do you get it justified, though? How do you justify spending more money on the military being there than the actual resources that are in the ground that you could just pay for? And remember, they never cut you off. None of these countries ever cut off the oil that is supposedly in such danger, you know.
Oh, it's not. It's one of those things. They don't. They're extracting wealth regardless. So when it comes to when we were talking about Halliburton, they don't care where the money comes from. They have to have that going on to make to make the cash. So it's not like we're spending $1 trillion. That's $1 trillion in their pockets, and they're cool with that.
It's become it's war for the corporation. That's what I'm getting at. It's like there used to be a standard by which you as a person in government judged whether or not we should be doing this. Fuck the corporations. Of course, they're going to want to sell you all kinds of shit. They don't care. But for the country, it was you would run it through the war college or something and say, hey, and if we do this, for how long, because you don't just give anybody a blank check for the corporation. What? I mean, talk about a fascist dictatorship. I mean,
terrorism. I mean, that's the excuse, right? We can be at war with the entire world because of terrorism. It's the same.
It's so lame, man. I mean, it's just that's again, if you used your brain and you critically thought for just a moment, you would realize how ludicrous that is.
Well,
it doesn't even make sense.
You have, whether it's Hillary Clinton, Libya, or Trump, and naming off all of those, all the countries he'd like to go to war with. It's like, look, that goes through Congress. You don't choose who you go to war with at all. Why are you celebrating the assassination of a world leader? And if you did it, you ran that through Congress. Right? That doesn't make any, that's not our place in the, in the world. And
right. That's not, if you allegedly go by international law and you're following all these rules and shit that you spout all the time, and then you conveniently ignore when it's time to follow them.
You look at the U.S. involvement, right? Because we can't say the word war. We're not at war in Iraq and Afghanistan and Syria, Northern Africa and Somalia. Right, we're not at war. It's the U.S. involvement, right, in all of these, and it's so bogus. On a couple of lists, the left is supposed to be the lovers of peace and all of this shit. Where are you?
Don't know.
Like, is so much that could be being done that's not. They're arguing over, I think, Nancy Pelosi, right? That's what we're doing. Like, that's what we're doing. So yeah, so rather than anything important, because it's not like these things all happened on all of these people's watches. Not like they gave a fuck about them ever. Yeah, until we're like the social media, independent media, the only people that even mention Yemen, and the only people to like the national stage is because they haven't been able to mention the insanity around the journalist being killed, right? And not mention Yemen at the same time. Otherwise, they would have fucking exhorted. We've got a special relationship with Saudi.
Yeah, that was you never see any news reports or any major media outlets covering the war in Yemen.
No, they
don't cover much of anything.
Yeah, we've got a special relationship with them. They give us money and we murder people for them. Oh! We gives ourselves money and murder people for them.
Yeah. Well, if people just... All I know is if people used their brain and critically thought for any length of time, a lot of this wouldn't go on. But they don't do that. That's what's really disappointing.
Well, they're even they've taken, they've on, and I believe on purpose, whether it be undermining our education system, whether it be promoting, okay, if you're from the right, you have to be ignorant, right? They want to build. This is the, and you notice that when, and I know this is going to sound like stupid, Larry the Cable Guy, right? When he played the dumbass, blah, 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 they ate it up. He was everywhere. And as soon as he started saying anything intelligent, and then people that watched him were all like, oh, yeah, that makes sense, right? You know, people being immigrants being hardworking part of in a movie, right? And immediately, all of that dried up. Because that's not the person they need you to be, right? You need to be dumb, right? In fact, the dumber you are, the more proud we are, right? We need to deploy out and say something stupid as fuck to completely, you know, cover up the reality of the things that are going on. We love that.
Do you lose him?
Yep. Uh-oh. We hit that 3 hour. Well, he made more than 3 hours.
3 hours and 15 minutes.
God damn.
Yeah.
Oops.
Did we cover all subjects?
No, we didn't cover ACTA.
Oh yeah, the ACTA thing. Yeah,
ACTA.
You want to? If you can explain it.
Is that a new one?
It is more like a European thing right now. No, it's actually also in the USA. We discussed it before. So the European Union is going to vote on 2 new sections in their law, the Article 11 and Article 13, which together are like pretty similar to ACTA. So what they're going to do is make website owners responsible for the content their users put on it, and so they're no longer allowed to like freely comment and stuff, because if they like comment and it's like a copyrighted picture or whatever, or like a copyrighted meme or something, then the website owners are responsible, so they can get sued and they have to like pay all the damages the users do. So then the result of this plan is there will be like an upload filter. They will create like an upload filter. So copyrighted content is it's no longer possible to upload this to the internet.
Yeah, that's when I'm just gonna go live on I2P or peer-to-peer networks.
Yeah. So Article 11 is even worse. Article 11 is even worse because that is a different part of the law, and that is like you can no longer use educational material or newspaper articles as sources.
What?
Because they're also copyrighted. So if you read like a news article, like they say something.
This is the same stuff that we were fighting in the early 2000s with the Digital Millennial Copyright Act. This is like This is like backwards thinking. Like how do we go from like, oh yeah, open source, yeah, you can do this, that. Maybe we got some laws here and there, so all the way back to the beginning of like when we were disputing on who owned what, like the internet's gonna be like an HBO, you know what I mean? Like
that is eventually the end result of this.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. Like they literally state this in the law that if you like you have like a news article, right, and you comment below it and you say like, this article is not true, I did research, check here the sources, then it's illegal. Like you can no longer do this. Like you can't talk.
You know, basically what they're saying is that also like this is like kind of not well implemented. Is that they only what they're saying is they only want professional websites and no mom and pop or somebody independent made their own website. Everything has to be professional. That's basically what they're saying, right?
Yeah, and
that is fucking ridiculous thinking. Those laws were written by people who don't understand the internet.
No, and then people also should realize that websites are also social media websites. So you can no longer post your favorite meme or a source of like something journalistic. You can no longer discuss on social media eventually.
So if I have like my own server and in my house and I'm hosting a website from my house and I put up fucking Christina Aguilera or whatever, all of a sudden I can be like sued because I have pictures of Christina Aguilera that are publicly available on any Google search.
Yeah.
That's fucking ridiculous.
And like the danger. Yeah, like with commenters, like you can no longer allow commenters because you have to stay awake 24/7. Because if some commenter places something on your site, and it's like copyrighted, and you're fucked. So yeah.
I'm sure Facebook and Twitter will get a waiver. You know how it is. It's like Obamacare and everything else. Certain people get waivers.
Well, that's what people
slave class will have to, mind their P's and Q's and all the rest of it.
That's what people think the internet is now. I mean, they literally think the internet is fucking Google and social media. That's it.
Yeah, and that is where the internet, the net neutrality thing jumps in, because these websites that will comply to it, they will of course get the priority access. So that's where the net neutrality, the end of net neutrality jumps in. Like, your Twitter will comply to these rules, and Facebook too. So they will get priority access, and eventually these will be the only sites still available. And also they have the money maybe to like pay off this thing. So yeah, this is like Orwellian thought police. Yeah, it's pretty scary, but yeah, I think they're shooting themselves in their foot with it, because people will actually start hosting in countries outside of this law. So. Because I'm pretty sure there will always be countries looking to like benefit from this and actually make some money hosting people. So probably like Russians or whatever, or like Chinese, they will still they will not listen to these laws. So everyone will move their servers to there. And, but if you're like a citizen in the US or in the EU, then you'll still have to. You can still get sued, I guess. So, yeah. If they find you, that is. So in the US, they actually do the same thing, like with the SESTA law.
Yeah.
Sure.
It's actually aimed at stopping sex trafficking, they claim, but it's also it essentially does the same thing. It makes the website owner responsible for what happens on it. So they can also use this for the copyright stuff. So they're actually implementing it in both areas at the same time. So this is actually ACTA disguised as other stuff. This is the new ACTA law, and in the US early this year they already voted, and in the EU it will be early next year, and around the same time I think as the SESTA was introduced in the US. So like a 1 year difference, like exactly a 1 year difference. It's pretty Orwellian, creepy shit. Reminds me that Cisco was actually the biggest partner of China in introducing the big firewall. So.
The Great Firewall of China.
Yeah, it's completely built on Cisco materials. So yeah, they know how it works. They'll probably do the same in here.
The Great Firewall of Europe, and the Great Firewall of Africa, and the Great Firewall,
Mm-hmm. Scary thing is that it's actually working in China, and I'm pretty sure it's going to work here too.
Sure. Well, it's a two. You notice how it's a two-tiered system. It's like there's a set of rules for the people who can produce the content, the approved people, and then another set of rules for everybody else that might use it or be putting out their own content. Yeah. Once again, I mean, if they can convince you that that's okay and that that's free speech, they got you. I mean, it's just, if you don't have representatives in a government that'll support you and support your rights, it's pretty much over. Because all this stuff just keeps getting worse.
Yeah, like honestly, I'm not worried about us. I mean, we can get around it with like Tor or with like a specific offshore VPNs and stuff. We can get around it. There's no problem. They can't find us if we don't want it. But the masses will be silenced with this for sure.
I can tell you one thing. Most websites that are hosted in the EU will probably move out of the EU.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, they will all find ways to like have their website. Like registered like anonymously, like
or we can just move the servers to Sealand. That little tarmac in the middle of the ocean that'll host anything.
Yeah.
Sealand.
Well, you can actually use tricks to like protect yourself. Like Iceland, for example, has a whistleblower protection. So that means if you have a website and it's like a news site, and you do want to allow these comments, then you have to post something shocking. Sometimes you have to like expose something. So you fall under this whistleblower protection, and they won't like share your name with anyone. Like they will protect your identity, because you can just claim like, no, you can't give my identity because I got the risk of being killed because I'm a whistleblower. So yeah, there are some things that some tricks, but like I said, like the masses can't use these things. Like you're talking about like young people or like
people that just know how to point and click and install an app. Yeah,
they will get a censored internet. I mean, like I said, I don't worry about us. I mean, we will find a way around it. But like, there are in China, there are also people finding ways around it. So
yeah, I'm seeing more and more people, you know, with Instagram accounts from China. You know.
Yeah, like officially it's like banned there, and
yeah.
Sites like the BBC and stuff is also banned there, and like Fox News and CNN and all these American news sites, they're also banned there. You can't visit them. But yeah, there are ways like on a Chinese airport you can visit them, for example.
Hey, there was a company. I had to scroll back in the news links there, but they were essentially. It sounded like a 4-node Tor network essentially, but they had already proven that they can get around the Chinese firewall.
Yeah, because you're like talking about certain IP ranges and certain domain names that are blocked. So you can set up proxies on different IP ranges, and you can connect to these proxies and then to the internet. That works. Like you can use SOX 5, SOX 4 proxies or a web proxy to browse, and then you can actually get around it. It's like kids at schools use it too. Like school got all these websites blocked, right? So yeah, the kids are smart enough to browse to a web proxy, and you can just search on DuckDuckGo, not on Google, for a web proxy, and you can just visit a web proxy. That's like the easy way. Has some limitations in speed and stuff, but for news it works. So, yeah. Yeah, it's pretty scary. So there's like the ACTA2, and there is a hashtag, and it's called Stop ACTA2 on Twitter right now. It's like becoming more popular. Anonymous crew from Poland is started it. They were also behind the first ACTA protests originally, and it's like pretty much the same crew that also started this. And so they asked for our help to organize the big marches in Brussels in Europe. So yeah, we'll just do that with the Brussels, with the Belgian announce, and yeah, we will organize a march, and I hope many people show up. But I'm not sure if it's enough. You know, like with ACTA 1, the entire internet went black. And, yeah. So Aaron Swartz, Reddit, they all like called out for like a big war against these people. Wikipedia went black.
You know, a lot of these big companies will say that they'll back us up, but you know they don't in the end.
No,
they just bend over.
Yeah, and they only stay like black for a day or two because it costs them money. So yeah. And the powers know this.
Speaking of Aaron Swartz, he would have been 32 last week.
Yeah. Saw his mom posting about it on Twitter. Sent her a message. It always feels bad when you think about it, right? It was such a good guy.
Yeah, they were going to give him 30 years over downloading JSTOR. That was ridiculous.
It's like really a friendly dude, and he was like brilliant. So he like changed the internet with his stuff. I mean, he invented a large part of the RSS system.
He's also the founder of Reddit. And
but the RSS system is like a thing in blogs that you can like synchronize blogs like in seconds.
He came up with the same concept for the concept of for Wikipedia.
Yeah. Sure.
he was doing RSS when he was like 13.
Mm-hmm. He was like the youngest one in their team. They didn't even know he was that young.
Yeah, they didn't know he was 13 when he was making the code.
They were like shocked when the kid showed up. Yeah, geeky guy, but like a really like Einstein of his time, like brilliant, very smart.
Yeah, they still haven't got around to making. Congress still hasn't gotten around to approving Aaron's law. You know.
No, and they should, because it's like the guy committed suicide over like. They like said like he would be like put in prison for maybe like the rest of his life, like
for downloading JSTOR, yeah.
All educational material he just wanted to give to the public for free. All educational, like I mean, nothing, nothing weird. I mean, just free education, like.
Yeah.
These are copyrighted books that cost like $50. That like people here in this area, like, or in the US or something, maybe we can pay for it, but like there are people in Africa who can never pay for it.
He offered to buy it for like $2 million. They told him they wanted 40.
Yeah. Well, education should be free for it. And there are people in like I said, like in Africa and in Asia, they can never pay for this education, and we're missing out on like so many intelligent people like can cure diseases and everything. So it's shocking. I know the dad of Aaron Swart made like a lot of tech professionals very angry.
He created Demand Progress as well, right?
I think so, yeah.
Oh, I got another something we didn't cover. So remember that shit that was going on with the activists in Florida where they were feeding the homeless, and the Department of Public Health was coming and shutting down the guys feeding the homeless? Well, shit, they're trying to pull the same shit in Kansas City. There's an activist group. They're calling it picnics, right? They're called picnics, and the homeless people are their friends, and that's what they're calling it. And the Department of Public Health and the police officers are going around and dumping bleach in the food so that nobody can eat it.
Yeah, this is just like this is just too sick to even think about. I mean,
yeah, that's what they're doing. They're saying that because they don't have health, food, and sanitation cards, and they don't have a facility that's clean and up to standards, they can't feed food to the homeless. And I'm like, that makes absolutely no logical sense. These people, like, don't care if the food is clean or not, and it probably was clean. Basically what the government is telling them is they don't want to enable homeless people. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a social cleansing. You see that in some countries. It's a way of getting the riffraff. You know, if you've had a bad string of luck and you're on the street, well, but you're unsightly, and other people don't want to see that, so they want to get rid of you.
Yeah.
That's the thinking. You know, they're not there to help you. Because what business is it of anybody's if you feed the homeless or you help somebody? That's none of your business.
No, it isn't. It's like
it's
pure diabolical.
Yeah, government doesn't have anything to say about that.
Well,
so why are all these
Kansas City police,
cities all doing this? Yeah, it's
Kansas City police seem to be doing it. Like, it just seems like, well, like in certain bumfuck cities, they just like get, they just get. Well, they're basically telling the people that they don't want you feeding the homeless people, and they want the homeless people to die. That's basically what they're saying.
You're not doing it in approved ways. Well, the approved ways are going to your church or wherever they're urban, if they even have it.
Literally, what they want them to do is they want them to open up a stainless steel facility, kitchen, cook the food there, and serve it inside. Well, a lot of people don't have, hundreds of thousands of dollars to invest to feed the homeless like that.
Yeah, it's just well, they do it here in town. I mean, they do. They try to get all the homeless here into these facilities that they have that the city has built, and so that's like the official way. Cops pick them up, so you can't be homeless and with no place to sleep. That's not allowed in America, and I don't know where it says anywhere that you can't. Well, hey, if that's your choice, let's say you have money and you just want to live that way because you don't care. What's wrong with that?
Nothing.
Yeah, it's like, if you're on a public sidewalk, if you're not breaking any laws, what's the problem? Why do you have something to say about that? It just goes to show you how authoritarian, that we are in the city levels and all, and then this need to tell everybody what to do. You're just control freaks, Yeah. It's like get over it.
Yeah, and it is true, by the way. There are actually people who want to live like that.
I've met a few. They had enough money. They could have gotten a decent apartment, but they'd rather be on the street. They got their personality tics or their problems or whatever. Well, hey, but if they have enough money to do it and that's what they want to do, then what business is it of anybody's?
Nobody's really.
Yeah. It's like, well, you don't like, they're unsightly, or you don't like. Well, that's not a good reason. That's.
Yeah.
And so when you fall into that, it's just like everything else. See, if they can push that, and if that's the mindset that's going on, and it seems to be in society, we're that jaded. Yeah, you can pass laws like that because everybody's for it. They don't really stand for anything. That's the problem here in America.
Yeah, for sure.
You get down to the brass tacks of what's going on. You're jaded, corrupt, ignorant, arrogant, all these things, and you've lost touch with what you're supposed to care about.
Well, I mean, this is becoming a trend across the United States. I see it kind of growing where the local governments are telling activists or people not to feed the homeless in parks, and which is fucked up. And then the worst part is now their tactic is to dump bleach all over the food so that nobody can eat it.
Yeah, well, that's just sickening. I mean, that's so sick to even hear that. It's like,
I'm not joking. I wish I was making this story up, but this is what they're doing now.
Yeah, I saw that too. That's not it all started. They were harassing these groups for a while. This has increased, over the last 10 years or so, where they'd get harassed and they'd shut them down for a while, and then they'd come back, and it's slowly escalated now because evidently the slaves aren't getting the message that the cops and your government, the authoritarians, don't want you doing this. You just keep trying to do it. It's weird to watch. It's just like, I don't know where these people are coming from.
I honestly think that Department of Public Health or whoever's dropping the bleach is actually committing a crime. I think so too. I think it is.
Yeah, they're like deliberately poisoning their.
Well, not only that, animals will eat the food, and the animals will be poisoned.
Yeah, that is true.
Oh, yeah. Well, there are solutions, but you got to get angry and violent. That's all I mean. Or just get steamrolled. Just let it keep going on. Just keep getting steamrolled and rolling over, and just keep going along with it. And it's going to get better. Just follow the plan.
Like when Trump tried to pull the 14th Amendment last week.
14th.
Birthright?
Yeah, the birthright. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, try. Good luck. Follow the plan. Let me see. What else do I have on here? More letters have been uploaded to Akron Phoenix at 20's site. More letters that he's written. Reality Winner's birthday is coming up on December 4th. I don't know what facility she's at. I think she's in the one in Texas. You can follow her mom at Billy Winner, right? Is it at Billy Winner? Billie Jean Winner?
Billie Jean, yeah.
And you can find out how to send her a card or an email or something for her birthday. Also, they're making somewhere in Texas. They're also doing a play that's based on the whole situation surrounding how she got into prison. They're doing a play. Her mom keeps on posting about it. I just don't have the link on hand.
I hadn't heard that one.
Yeah, I didn't know about it till her mom started talking about it a couple weeks ago. Stan Lee died this week.
Yeah, Stan Lee's dead. Yeah, it was a huge shock for everyone too.
Well, I mean, he was like 95. I mean,
he's like immortal. That guy. He was in every movie of these superheroes. You could always see him like doing like a small cameo thing. Yeah, but yeah, he was 95 already. I think he was in a wheelchair for a while already. And
there was a lot of arguments going around. So I think his health was already in decline the last couple of months. What was I gonna say? More about we kind of didn't talk about this, but. Yeah, we have several times, like, who gives the social media platforms to inadvertently rewrite what the First Amendment says, with censorship and shit?
Yeah. But that is also, like, pretty much, like, the basic thing of social media.
Well, this is the thing, is, like, if the server is physically in the United States... then it is subject to the laws of the United States, right? Right?
Yeah,
and there is a First Amendment right, regardless of how they want to word their terms of service. That we still have a Bill of Rights, and we still have a First Amendment right?
Yeah.
Who says?
We always have these rights, but and because they know we have these rights, they're going to make you sign an agreement that you don't no longer have these rights.
Basically, yeah. When you sign up, I mean, but are those contracts when you sign up on a social media platform? Are they legal? Are they legal?
No, because you cannot sign your rights away.
Yes, right. Because social media platforms are considered a public square.
That's right. And what's his face? Dorsey. He says it all the time. It's a public square, but then on the other hand, he's always saying he can do whatever he wants. Well, you can't have it both ways. That's why I don't know why people aren't suing the shit out of these people, because
nobody has the money.
Yeah, but if you went into court, and you'd win, because it's like, look at what this guy says. And look at what they do. It's ridiculous.
Well, free speech, and this is something a lot of people on Twitter don't get. I know Twitter is more. There's a lot more focus on politics and left and right and extremists and left here and in the middle, green. Whatever you believe in. But free speech means that there's going to be a lot of people saying shit you just don't want to hear. That's Yeah,
that's the basic concept of free speech, to defend it for people you don't agree with. Like the only concept of that is free speech. Like, you can't only allow free speech for people you agree with. That is like,
oh yeah, if you don't agree with me, I'm just going to report you off the internet. There you go.
There are some who are doing that. They don't agree with certain political views, and they do that. Yeah. That is how it works now.
Well, you just have to treat them the same way. Because, see, here's the deal. If you don't accept the compact, the Constitution or the laws. And if I'm just somebody that deserves to get reported for what I've said, then you get the same treatment as well, because that's the new deal. You just decided that. You broke the old contract, so I really don't owe you anything at that point. You're not interested in supporting my rights, so I have no reason to support yours.
Yeah.
Of course,
you don't want to participate. So, yeah, that's what they're forcing you into. And if you read down, what is it with some of these contracts? They always say about like their terms of service.
Yeah,
and yet if you drill down, it's just like, well, yeah, but it never in your terms of service, it never says some of these things that you delete people for. So they have no leg to stand on. That's why I don't understand why some of these, especially the bigger outfits, or people that have made it their business to be on the internet, say through Facebook. You should be suing the shit out of them. You'd win. You should win. If you don't, it's because it's a rigged game, rigged legal system. But at least, come on, like put up a fight, do something. Or just roll over. It's just disgusting.
Yeah.
It's like AJ. People are actually. I've seen quite a few people. It's like, well, you had this huge platform. You were on YouTube, allegedly making all this money. It's like, why aren't you suing them? You're going after PayPal, but why aren't you trying to defend your YouTube account? You had a million people. All this income, platform, whatever, traffic. It's like you're just gonna piss that off.
They're almost
let it go.
putting Alex Jones into They've done this several times, so they tried to portray him as like a white supremacist or some shit. And I was an avid Alex Jones listener for a long time. Even I'd pop in, here and there, recently, to listen to me. It is off the wall, and it is pretty nuts. But it's not as bad as what the fucking as what they're portraying him to be. I mean, he is fucking cuckoo. You know what I mean?
But he's allowed to be cuckoo.
Yeah.
And I've listened to an interview with him with David Duke, who is actually a white supremacist, and their views don't really align.
No.
Anyway, so yeah, and there are also a lot of anti-Alex Jones people who claim he's like a pro-Israel, like a Jew infiltrator, so to speak.
Well, he actually is pro-Israel.
Yeah, because he had a Jewish wife, so they say no, he's not a white supremacist. He's actually Jewish, and he's like an infiltrator and all these things.
No, he's not Jewish, but he is pro-Israel. Yeah.
Yeah, so both sides are attacking him. So I don't get it. He seems to be just annoying some people in power, and even if he's he says some stuff that is simply not true too. So. Yeah.
He said a lot of things that weren't true, but he has the right in America to say those things.
Yeah.
He can say whatever he wants to say, as long as he doesn't say he's going to kill somebody. That's when he's crossed the line between free speech and what is a crime.
Yeah, and now you can see what happens if you don't defend his speech, and then 2 weeks later, 800 other outlets disappear from social media.
Well, we're going to lose BitChute. They lost Gab. We didn't lose. What's the other one that Lori was on? Mandrake. It's alternative Twitter. Mastodon.
Oh yeah.
Gab's supposed to be back up.
Oh.
Yeah, Gab are fighting for survival.
Yeah. But see, it's the same thing. It's like, why isn't Gab going after?
I don't think they have the money. I don't think they have the money for the lawsuit. They were barely paying the bills.
Ah, man,
that Kickstarter.
You have to.
That Kickstarter they had for like $1 million was just to pay for the domain name. Yeah.
Yeah. See if you're in business though, you have to protect your business. That's what I've seen this with other business owners. It's like, look, it's a different environment. You're going to get hit with this criminality, stealing, all these things are going on, bad contracts. Well, you're in business. You have to defend your business.
Yeah.
And what I see these people doing, because there's a guy he has on as a guest every now and then who has sued YouTube and won, and he has 1% of the traffic, but he's got principles. He sued him. How come he can't do it? And won. So come on, it can be done. Why are all these people that had big businesses set up there just letting it all go? I don't get it.
Well, that's a fair point. Yeah.
It's not helping everybody else. See, if everybody just rolls over.
I'm pretty sure Andrew Torba, I think that's the owner, right? The CEO.
Yeah, for Gab.
Yeah, I think he will sue them, but just give him a couple weeks. You probably will see a lawsuit.
We are still trying to get him on the show. Like, so we have that guy who has him in his Skype, and we're actually trying to get him on our show. I hope he will come. But, yeah.
Well, he did PBS. He did an interview with PBS, but
he's on AJ a lot.
Yeah.
Oh, he's getting more and more regular as shit hits the fan. But well, I see him do it to a lot of folks. I just, if you're in the business though of trying to push like an internet business
or ideology,
and internet traffic,
an ideology of free speech, you're going to be derailed off the internet.
Yeah. So you better start defending it, man. This is damn.
All right, we got 2 minutes, guys.
Okay.
Well, we won't be here. I'm just gonna make an announcement. We will not be going live on next Thursday. We will be doing, or I will be doing Thanksgiving. So we are thinking that next week we will broadcast an early show on Sunday. I'm thinking around 11 Pacific. Well, we'll see. We'll make an announcement on. Where will we make an announcement?
We'll just make an announcement.
Yeah, we'll have a show on Sunday, not next Sunday, not this Sunday, but next week Sunday, at 11 Pacific. I don't know, you guys want to end with anything?
No, I had a good show. Just thank everybody for listening.
Yeah, good show. Sharing is caring.
All right, and we'll end with that.
So long.
I hereby declare this to be an unlawful assembly.